Urban superpowers plus optional cheats plus upgrades plus brain fusion. Various anime and movie settings will appear. Lin Chen traveled to the dungeon world, where it became a treasure trove that people all over the world wanted to enter. The omnipotent universal coin, various extraordinary abilities, and magical weapons that break imagination. All of this can be obtained in the dungeon world. At the moment of entering the dungeon, the sound of the system rings. Detected host entering dungeon world. Resident Evil, the system is allocating cheats. Please choose from the following 3 cheats. 1. Unlimited equipment. Start a arsenal with endless variety of weapons and equipment. 2. 100-fold drop. The probability of firearms dropping increases by 100 times. 3. Firearm modification. You can consume coins to upgrade and modify equipment. System brother, can we not open the hook? Lin Chen asked. System. Host brother, no way. I also have a KPI to complete, while others are tormented to death by the dungeon world. Lin Chen stood at the highest point of the city, lifting a glass of red wine. How invincible, how lonely. Keywords of the novel. Global dungeon. My cheats can be selected without pop-ups. Global dungeon. My cheats can be selected to download the complete TXT collection. Global dungeon. My cheats can be selected to read the latest chapters. Chapter 1, Final Exam. Biochemical Crisis. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1, Final Exam. Biochemical Crisis. The final exam is coming soon. How are you reviewing? Not really. With so much knowledge, I can't finish memorizing it. I can't even finish memorizing it at all. Moreover, my current level is only LV3, and I haven't even obtained the qualification to take the college entrance examination. I'm a bit panicked. What's there to panic about? Look at Lin Chen, his level has just reached LV3, and his experience points are at least 250 less than yours. Look at how well he sleeps. Be more patient. The college entrance examination is only a month away. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Lin Chen, I guess I would have given up on the exam long ago. Worried, I don't know what kind of dungeon I'll get in this final exam. I hope it's simpler. Lin Chen was awakened by the conversation, his eyes confused. Here is. After a moment, Lin Chen rubbed his eyes and scanned the surroundings. The scene in front of me is very similar to a high school classroom. Quickly, memories exploded in Lin Chen's mind. The core of the starry sky drops, and the blue star enters the era of dungeons. Humans can enter dungeons, and after completing the level, they can obtain precious resources, exotic treasures, and even extraordinary powers such as internal power, magic, and supernatural abilities. There are also instances where the power of dungeons spreads, and extraordinary creatures within the dungeons come to the city to harm humanity, forming patches of mortal forbidden areas where opportunities and dangers coexist. A combat professional with strong combat power is capable of guarding a city and resisting the presence of extraordinary creatures. Gradually becoming the most prestigious profession on this planet, pursued by fans. I've traveled through this. It looks like a very interesting world. Everyone calm down, return to your seats and prepare to enter the dungeon. The dungeon for this exam is Resident Evil. This is the last opportunity to enter the dungeon before the college entrance examination. Students with lower levels must be cautious and obtain the experience of this dungeon in order to have the opportunity to enter the college entrance examination dungeon. A few students who have reached the application level should not mix up. The opportunity to enter the dungeon is precious, and we should also seize it well. I secretly tell you that the principal plans to give the first place an additional reward, which is said to be quite generous. A few top students, please work hard. The teacher on the podium gave the final instructions before the exam. Lin Chen remembered when he was in school in his past life. Before exams, his teacher always said to prepare more pens and not lose his admission ticket. He couldn't help but feel that different worlds have the same teacher. Seeing the 4 words, Resident Evil, Lin Chen couldn't help but question whether it was Resident Evil he had watched in a cinema in his previous life. However, the answer to this question will only be known when Lin Chen enters the dungeon. Although the specific content of the dungeon is not yet clear, the biochemical crisis is definitely related to the gun. And Lin Chen is a skilled player in playing with guns. In his previous life, Lin Chen opened a firearms club in M country, mainly engaged in firearms business. In terms of familiarity with firearms, Lin Chen may have surpassed many special forces soldiers. Within the effective range, it is difficult to achieve 10 rounds with a gun, but with 10 rounds, it is still easy to achieve an average of 8 or 9 rounds. The first challenge in an unfamiliar world happens to be in one's own area of expertise. Lin Chen is very happy. By the way, what time is it now? Lin Chen lowered his head and looked at his watch. The watch did not display the time, but rather rows of basic information. What is this? Name, Lin Chen, level. LV3, 50/300, universal coin. 250, ability. None. Lin Chen quickly found the answer from his original memory. Level is a basic and most important attribute of a person, which can be improved by completing challenge tasks through dungeons. After leveling up, not only can it comprehensively enhance physical functions. Various permissions can also be unlocked. LV5 is the minimum standard for learning basic skills and also the minimum standard for entering the college entrance examination dungeon. Before the age of 20, before reaching LV5, I had no chance of attending university in my lifetime. Universal coins are a precious resource from dungeons. It can be transformed into any material in the hands of professionals. Chefs can be used to cook. Mages can be used to create formations. Summoners can be used to open the door of space. After the Starry Sky Core fell, the universal currency produced by the dungeon gradually replaced other currencies and became the global unified currency. Due to the inability to print, it can only be obtained through dungeons, with high purchasing power. The purchasing power of a universal coin is similar to that of 10 soft sister coins in previous lifetimes. As a student, there are 250 universal coins in the card, which is really quite a lot. The reason is that Lin Chen's parents often travel and are not at home, so they can only rely on money to comfort Lin Chen. It's really great. Not only did I travel through time, but it also had such a wonderful start. If I can't even get into college, it's really a pity. Hello Lin Chen, can I change seats with you during the exam? I have discussed with your desk mate to enter the game together and help me level up. Turn around and take a look. A beautiful and lovely girl with 2 ponytails looked at her with hopeful little eyes. Feng Momo is the deputy class flower in the class, with a sweet and lovely appearance. If it weren't for a serious height defect, it's highly likely that she would be the regular class flower. I like fashion design, but I don't like battles. Currently, my level is the same as mine, and I am also LV3. And Lin Chen's desk mate Lu Lang is the first in the class, with excellent melee ability. Recently, his level has already surpassed LV6, making him stand out among the crowd in this class where only 3 or 4 people have reached LV4. Lin Chen looked at Lu Lang and said, "Brother, this is not authentic. Helping girls score points, not helping desk mates, right?" Lu Lang rubbed his head and said, "This is really not brotherly dishonesty. Yesterday, I asked you if you needed me to help you improve your level. You said you didn't need it yourself. You even said you didn't take the college entrance examination and planned to travel around the world in the future." Feng Momo shook his skirt and said coquettishly, "My desk mate Yi Yu is determined to compete for the top spot in the grade. She just reads books all day and doesn't pay any attention to me. The college entrance examination is coming soon, so." Lin Chen understood that Feng Momo's desk mate wanted to compete for the top spot in the grade and was unwilling to take Feng Momo to the next level. Feng Momo's level was too poor, so he had to come find the first-place male student. If two people have physical contact and entering the dungeon world, they will descend to the same position in the dungeon world after entering the dungeon. Lu Lang usually has a good relationship with himself. Since he has already agreed, it's better not to make it difficult for the other party. I hope this matter won't become a barrier between two people. Picking up the water cup from the table, Lin Chen sat in Foam Momo's seat. The nearby Yi Yu buried his head in the book and never looked up at Lin Chen. You look so beautiful and work so hard, maybe Yi Yu can become a domineering CEO in the future. Lin Chen glanced at the cover of the book and began to recall the content of the textbook. Quickly, Lin Chen realized that the original owner had not read a single page. As for the memory of that book, only when distributing the textbook, he glanced at the cover. Lin Chen. The classroom suddenly quieted down at the entrance. The invigilator walked in with a device that was similar to a computer, but more technologically advanced than a computer. He carefully placed it on the podium, cleared his throat, and loudly said, "Everyone, come over one by one later to receive information on the admission bracelet." After speaking, the invigilator took out a box of universal coins, put them into the instrument one by one to charge, and prepared to open the door of the dungeon later. We are about to enter the dungeon, and the expressions of our classmates are different. Some people are very panicked, discussing whose thigh to hold, while others are very confident, sitting upright, and their temperament suddenly rises. Lin Chen doesn't care about his appearance. After all, my proficiency in firearms is surprisingly high. As long as it is a dungeon related to guns, it is one's own paradise. Afterwards, the students went up one by one to scan their wristbands on the machine. At the same time, the teacher also began to announce exam discipline. In the dungeon world, you cannot attack other candidates. 2. It is prohibited for players to give items and props to each other to ensure the authenticity and effectiveness of their results. 3. The weapons used by the zombies killed by the team can be used by the participants, but not by those who have not participated in the battle. The restrictions on the dungeon world are not significant, but this is an exam that requires ranking. So, some restrictions have been made. After speaking about the exam discipline, there was still some time left for the teacher to remind again, the opportunity to enter the dungeon is very precious. I hope that some students do not hide in the corner to sleep, but actively participate in battles to gain experience. As for the clearance reward, the probability of you getting it is not high, but you should also try your best to fight for it. Finally, I hope everyone will work hard. Achieve a good result. The opportunity to enter the dungeon world is very precious. Outside of school, the opportunity to enter the dungeon at least costs several thousand universal coins, which is basically the annual income of an ordinary family. So, it is impossible to let academic elites take flight without paying the price. This is also the default unwritten rule for students. Lu Lang is blessed. I wonder if he knows how to take the initiative. The wall clock walked until exactly 9 o'clock when the bell rang. That, shy author, online ticket solicitation, end of this chapter. Chapter 2. Super Cheating. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Super Cheating. It's time, we need to work hard. After speaking, the teacher pressed the start button. Lin Chen clenched his fist and was eager to try. My new life is about to begin. Just take this instance and start a good start. In the next moment, white lights lit up one after another, and the whole class, as well as 1/3 of the students in the school, disappeared. Almost simultaneously an electronic sound rang out in Lin Chen's mind, detected host entering dungeon world. Resident Evil, the system is assigning a cheat. Please choose from the following 3 cheats. 1. Unlimited equipment. Start an arsenal with endless variety of weapons and equipment. 2. 100-fold drop. The probability of dropping firearms increases by 100 times. 3. Firearm modification. You can consume coins to upgrade and modify equipment. The system is here. Do you want to enable it for me? Lin Chen was taken aback and hesitated as he looked at the three cheats. Lin Chen is still confident in his marksmanship. System brother, can we not open the hook? Lin Chen asked. System host brother, no way. I also have a KPI to complete, Lin Chen. Starry Sky Core, you see it. It's not that I want to cheat, the system forces me to cheat. Pretending to be forced, even if there's a hang, you still have to drive. After all, completing the dungeon and achieving excellent results. You can earn a lot of rewards in the real world. After simple contemplation, Lin Chen chose the third cheat. 3. Firearm modification. You can consume coins to upgrade and transform equipment. You can guess the gaming experience of the first two cheats with just one guess. In the end, it's just shooting with various firearms, and the clearance experience may not be as enjoyable. And the third one, it seems, can have firearms that one has never seen before, with stronger gameplay. After selection, the panel disappears. Lin Chen landed on the yellow soil, and a city stood tall in the distance. A few scattered zombies drifted on the yellow soil around the city. The other classmates in the class also appeared around the city, but the city was too big and the distance between classmates was also very far, so they couldn't see each other. Soon, a copy prompt appeared. Dungeon. Resident Evil, dungeon type. Gunfight action, difficulty level. Number of copies. 1022, dungeon content. After the game starts, each person will receive a supplies box, which contains a pistol, a machete, a compressed biscuit and a bottle of water. Your task is to kill zombies and obtain gold coins, which can be used to exchange for firearms. By living in the memory of the dungeon for 3 days, you can complete the dungeon and receive rich rewards. The reward for killing 50 zombies increases by 10%, killing 300 zombies increases by 50%, and killing 1000 zombies increases by 100%, protective cover closed, please be careful of zombies. The prompt box disappeared, and Lin Tian opened the supplies box to check. The box was large, but there were very few items, only a pistol, 12 bullets, 100 grams of compressed biscuits, and 300 milliliters of water. There are very few survival supplies, and the coins released from killing zombies can only be exchanged for weapons. To survive for 3 days, one can only enter the city to collect supplies. Perhaps it was intentionally designed by the dungeon, with 7 or 8 zombies near each person's landing point, about 100 meters away from the box. However, zombies move slowly, only 1 or 2 meters per second, giving them enough time to kill them. Lin Chen knows this Bretta, which ranks high in shooting accuracy and stability among pistols and is very popular among customers. It is also the best-selling pistol in Lin Chen's store. However, its power is not its strong point and cannot be compared to the Desert Eagle. Its effective range is only 50 meters, and if it is too far away, both accuracy and power will decrease. So Lin Chen sat on the supply box, waiting for the zombie to slowly come over. When the zombie entered a distance of 40 meters, Lin Chen opened the safety and quickly fired 7 bullets. Bouncing and banging, 7 gunshots echoed together. The back of the heads of the 7 zombies exploded, spewing out black mucus and weakly falling to the ground. Gold coins plus 10, gold coins plus 10, gold coins plus 10. The gunfire attracted more zombies to come over, but fortunately, the previous wave of zombies dropped 2 magazines after their deaths. The second wave of zombies was also easily eliminated by Lin Chen. Gold coins plus 10, gold coins plus 10, gold coins plus 10. Another landing point was when a girl wearing a school uniform chose to shoot when she saw the zombie. Unfortunately, the distance was too far, and the bullet could not hit the head at all. Not a single one was killed. After all the bullets were fired, 8 zombies had already surrounded the girl, leaving her with no way to escape. She could only crouch down with her head in her arms, and the zombies surrounded her. A gruesome scream with a tingling sound came out. Meanwhile, in the invigilation room, Numerous invigilators are observing school candidates through replica machines loaded with stardust. Just 10 minutes after landing, 50 students have already been eliminated. The grade teacher's face looked grim and said, "Even a zombie with such slow movement speed can't be hit. I really don't know how these students got into our experimental high school." A proctor comforted and said, "These are all poor students, how can they never get into a top-tier university? Let's take a look at the top few students ahead." Speaking of top students, the director asked the broadcasting teachers to switch the main perspective and replay the clip, and Lin Chen's image appeared on the main screen. Watching Lin Chen's crisp and sharp performance, the head teacher nodded in satisfaction and said, "This student is very good. Not only does he have a very accurate grasp of the effective shooting distance of the gun, but he also has superb shooting skills. Every bullet is taken in from the eye socket of the zombie and shot from the weakest point in the back of the brain, making him a master of firearms. He reached this level in high school and has a promising future." "Which class is this from?" The homeroom teacher came out to introduce it. The homeroom teacher of class 8 on one side scratched his head as he looked at the screen and said, "Well, based on his appearance, he should be Lin Chen from our class. But, I remember, Lin Chen is the last one in the class. He couldn't even open a gun the last time he was in the dungeon." Director. This kid usually disguises himself very deeply. After thoroughly eliminating the nearby zombies, Lin Chen obtained a total of 300 gold coins. Can be exchanged for a new pistol. After receiving 300 gold coins, other students chose to immediately exchange for handguns. After all, one more gun would give them more firepower. This is also the best approach. However, Lin Chen did not exchange it, but closed his eyes and triggered the cheat. In an instant, several options popped up. Pistol can be upgraded, Renovation Plan 1. Tubular Pulse Ejection Gun, Consumption. 200 gold coins, Effect. By using electromagnetic acceleration technology, 100,000 small, needle-like bullets are fired per second, tearing apart all enemies in front of you. The effective range is 5,000 meters with unlimited bullets and no recoil. Transformation Plan 2. Gaussian Sniper Gun, Consumption. 250 gold coins, Effect. Accelerate the bullet through an electromagnetic track, with a speed greater than 300 times the speed of sound, an effective range of 30,000 meters, unlimited bullets, and no recoil. Transformation Plan 3. Strong Melting Gun, Consumption. 300 gold coins, Effect. Launch a basketball-sized hot plasma energy ball with a temperature exceeding 8,000 degrees, melting all physical defenses, effective range, 100 meters, infinite bullets, and no recoil. Sleeping Slot. Seeing the 3 renovation plans provided by the system, Lin Chen couldn't help but be taken aback. It's truly a cheat. These 3 renovation plans, each one is very abnormal. Gaussian Sniper Rifle, the effective range of 30 kilometers is really exaggerated. A bullet with a speed of 300 times the speed of sound is incredibly powerful. Others can only exchange 300 gold coins for one handgun, which is so powerful that it is difficult to pierce through the skull of zombies. And with 300 gold coins and one shot, he could easily penetrate hundreds of zombies. This cheat is too disruptive to balance. How unfair it is to other classmates. Lin Chen angrily condemned. Zombies, you're done, jia jia jia. After a brief hesitation, Lin Chen chose the first one. Although the Gaussian sniper rifle is powerful, it requires time to charge the capacitor and its firing rate is not fast. The tubular pulse catapult gun also accelerates bullets through electromagnetic technology. But with a terrifying firing rate of 100,000 shots per second. It is the true group artifact. End of this chapter. Chapter 3, This Power is Too Terrifying. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3, This Power is Too Terrifying. After confirming the selection. The gun in Lin Chen's hand began to deform and expand. 3 seconds later, the original regular pistol, it has been transformed into a high-tech spear measuring 1.5 meters long, flashing with blue electric light. The muzzle is 50 millimeters long, with an overall streamlined design and a super cool style. In order to test the power of this gun, Lin Chen found a car on the road. After pulling the trigger, the blue arc at the muzzle flickered with a crackling sound, and countless small bullets instantly hit the car in front of us. On the car, there were numerous small bullet marks and a loud and piercing sound of metal tearing. In just 1/10 of a second, the car had already been penetrated. Lin Chen slightly shook the muzzle of the gun, causing the car to break in half. The 4-meter-long sedan turned into 2 pieces of 1 meter long, and the other 2 meters of steel had already been melted into molten iron, flowing on the ground. Terrifying, too terrifying. Invincible, it's really too invincible. The effect of the tubular pulse catapult gun reminded Lin Chen of the high-pressure water gun he had seen online in his past life, which could easily cut all metals. This gun can be simply seen as a super-enhanced version of a high-pressure water gun, replacing water flow with high-speed metal flow, increasing penetration power by 100 or 1,000 times. With the power of a tubular pulse catapult gun, the aircraft carrier also needs to be cut in half. On a mound of soil. A male classmate looked at Lin Chen's long gun, and with just a slight sweep, dozens of zombies turned into ground debris, startling his chin. "My mother, what kind of weapon is this? This is too supermodel, isn't it?" Lin Chen had good luck. After killing this wave of zombies, an airdrop fell from the sky. Exploded equipment, hoping for some defense. Lin Chen walked over and opened the box, taking out a bulletproof vest from inside. Lin Chen. What about playing with me? With such a big box, just one piece of clothing. Fortunately, I have a cheat. Bulletproof vests can be upgraded, Renovation Plan 1. Mark 5 Nuclear Power Armor, Consumption. 200 gold coins, effect. Made of titanium alloy armor by Tony, each hand has a laser handgun and can fly. Transformation Plan 2. Hunter Armor, Consumption. 250 gold coins, effect. High-tech armor from Iron Blood Warriors, covered in weapons, can be invisible. Transformation Plan 3. Shura Armor, Consumption. 300 gold coins, effect. The King's armor from Ares has good defense and attack, and can travel through time under the urging of tremendous power. The transformation of armor, like firearms, is quite outrageous, especially the last one, which is actually driven by the power of intent. This armor has already left the realm of technology. After a brief thought, Lin Chen still chose the first option. Although invisibility was quite good and he could secretly see things he shouldn't have seen, in Raccoon City, sneaking a look at zombies was not very interesting, so flying was still more practical. The student lying behind the mound still wants to run over and hug their thighs. As a result, just after taking pictures of the soil on his body, he saw a red box becoming armor attached to Lin Chen's body. Subsequently, the red armor spewed flames from its feet and flew towards Raccoon City. The unnamed classmate's eyeballs were about to fall to the ground. What equipment is this? Even killing zombies in seconds, you can still fly. Encountering a big shot, this classmate was thinking of rushing over and hugging his thigh, but unexpectedly, his thigh flew away. Lin Chen's recent shooting attracted nearby zombies and quickly surrounded the unnamed classmate. Both front, back, left, and right are enemies, and the zombies can only be stopped by the firepower of a small pistol. Fortunately, this student is calm and stable, with a high hit rate and not much danger. Until the last zombie fell, the student finally breathed a sigh of relief, picked up the dropped magazine, and continued to run towards the city. The landing point was more than 10 kilometers away from the city, walking to the city and searching for supplies. Time was really tight. Lin Chen stood tall in the air, flying at a speed of 80 miles over the street. When encountering zombies, he pulled the trigger and symbolically shot them, each zombie falling one by one like a weed hitting a lawn mower. Gold coins plus 10, gold coins plus 10, gold coins plus 10. With the blessing of bad luck, Lin Chen finally dropped the second weapon box after eliminating more than 300 zombies. Open the box with anticipation. As a result, only one pistol and 3 grenades were seen. I really don't have anyone left with my luck. Grenades can be upgraded. Renovation Plan 1. Plasma Grenade, Consumption. 200 gold coins, Effect. Explosion emits hundreds of plasma balls, turning a 100-meter range into a plasma hell. Caution. Do not use on rainy days. Transformation Plan 2. Gravity Grenade, Consumption. 250 gold coins, Effect. The explosion creates a terrifying gravitational field, compressing all matter within a range of 100 meters. Caution, cover is ineffective, please keep a distance. Transformation Plan 3. Laser Hand Grenade, Consumption. 300 gold coins, Effect. Press the button, and after 3 seconds, emit 20 high-energy laser beams and rotate them at high speed. Be cautious and hide behind a thicker cover. There are exactly 3 grenades, 3 plans, and enough coins to upgrade all of them. Lin Chen decisively selected all 3 options. Suddenly, 3 ordinary grenades turned into 3 high-tech grenades. Plasma grenades and gravity grenades were all black round balls, while laser grenades resembled a rugby ball, covered with dense laser emission ports. The pistol inside the box was upgraded to a Gaussian sniper rifle by Lin Chen. This gun has a barrel length of 3 meters alone, and the gun body is quite large. The huge trigger can be held directly by hand. So big, so long, so fierce. This is Lin Chen's first impression of this gun. The words Gauss sniper gun are really humble, they should be called Gauss sniper guns. As soon as he received the gun, Lin Chen aimed it at a load-bearing wall to test its power, which surprised Lin Chen. After pulling the trigger, the barrel lit up at an extremely fast speed, accompanied by a loud sonic boom, and a large hole that could be passed through by a single person was blasted out of the load-bearing wall of the building, which was 1 meter thick. The defense of concrete walls can be said to be quite terrifying. When Lin Chen was watching videos in his previous life, he tested them. A 150mm tank armor-piercing bullet can only create a small hole on a 40 cm thick concrete wall. And the Gaussian sniper rifle actually shot a large hole with a diameter of over 1 meter, and the target was the load-bearing wall of the building with a thickness of over 1 meter. Lin Chen couldn't help but suspect that if the system didn't help him relieve recoil. With this shot, my entire body's bones will be shattered by the recoil force. The whole person will also be swept away by recoil. This gun can't be used by Gundam, can it? Coincidentally, a crawler rushed towards Lin Chen quickly. Exactly, I'll give you a try with the gun. Bang! The climber seemed to have been hit by a train, and his entire body exploded, turning into plasma. Lin Chen went over to check and found that the huge climber only had 2 front legs left, which were relatively intact. At the bullet speed of a Gaussian sniper rifle, there is no need to hit at all. When bullets break through the sound barrier, the airflow they carry is enough to tear apart all flesh. Underground in Raccoon City, protecting the base of Umbrella Company. A researcher was reporting to a man in a black suit. Surveillance shows hundreds of soldiers disguised as students infiltrating. Should we? The man in the suit looked at the screen and sneered, this combat quality is just some cannon fodder. Let our tyrant play. The game of cat and mouse is about to take place, who will be the last little mouse? The elevator door opened, and a 2-meter giant with RPG in his left hand and Gatling in his right hand boarded the elevator. Meanwhile, in the invigilation room, Lu Lang's team is really strong. They relied on shotguns to pull and kill a licker, said the homeroom teacher of Class 8. The homeroom teacher of class 6 looked disdainful and said, "What Lu Lang team? Isn't the damage done by Lu Lang alone? How much damage did that girl do?" The homeroom teacher of class 8 retorted, "Feng Momo has also made great contributions. Feng Momo has precious dungeon talents and the probability of equipment dropping is 3 times that of ordinary people. Without Feng Momo, Lu Lang would not have been able to obtain a shotgun." Class 6 homeroom teacher. According to what you said, the two of them are quite compatible. In the future, they will enter the dungeon together, one responsible for combat and the other for logistics. Perfect. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Tyrants. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Tyrants. Unfortunately, although the college entrance examination can also form teams, each person's entry point into the dungeon is random. The exam map is even larger than our blue star, and the difficulty of meeting 2 people is similar to walking on a sunny day and being struck by lightning twice in a row. Yi Yu is also very good. Although he declined the invitation from his classmates' peers, with the blessing of his danger perception talent, he never fell into the siege of zombies and his killing efficiency was also very high. In just one day, he killed more than 200 zombies, and his excellent performance in this exam has stabilized. Lu Luo from class 3 is too much. Surprisingly, he hired more than 30 people to work for him, becoming the top scorer on the points table. "There are only so many dungeon rewards, is it worth hiring so many people?" said the teacher from class 5. On the screen, more than 30 people were divided into 10 groups, constantly pulling the zombies with broken hands and feet towards Lu Luo. The chubby Lu Luo sat in a rocking chair sunbathing, occasionally firing 1 or 2 shots at the zombie's head. The teacher of class 3 sighed and said, "Hiring. Those people are just working for nothing." Lu Luo's father, Lu Chen, is a level 23 combat professional, and his family also owns more than 10 hotels. He is rich and powerful, who can afford to provoke him? A level 20 professional is already very rare, enough to become the leader of a small gang. Currently, there is no level 20 teacher in the invigilation room. If LV10 is a college graduate, LV20 is a master's graduate. However, in this world, getting into university itself is extremely difficult, and even fewer people can become LV10 and graduate from university. The same goes for a master's degree. It's not that the teachers don't have enough money to upgrade in dungeons, but rather that low-level dungeons have little effect on the teachers, while high-level dungeons are too expensive and difficult to pass. One failure is equivalent to 5 years of wasted work. Therefore, most people's levels are fixed and they graduate from university, and the highest level for invigilating teachers is only level 14. Forget it, let's not look at Lu Luo anymore. Let me take a look at Lin Chen. This kid's marksmanship is very good, I don't know what's going on now. Sleeping slot. Sleeping slot. Sleeping slot. The teachers from class 3, class 1, and class 6 said at the same time. The grade teacher frowned and said, "What are you shouting about? We're teachers. How could you say such things? This is really outrageous. There are thousands of candidates, and most teachers are looking at the top students in their class, ignoring the underperforming ones." The grade teacher was puzzled and walked up to the secondary screens of several teachers. In the moment he saw the screen clearly, 2 words burst out uncontrollably. "Lying in bed, your grandfather's chrysanthemum." Coincidentally, the principal passed by the invigilation room and heard the grade director's foul language. His face was displeased and he scolded, "You're at least a grade director. In front of so many teachers, do you think it's appropriate to use foul language?" A few seconds later, the principal also saw the content on the screen. "Nyobi, this is too nyobi." In many cases, human adjectives are rare. On the screen, Lin Chen, wearing Mark nuclear power armor, was lying on the 100-meter building shooting with a 3-meter-long sniper rifle. A shot was fired, causing the ground and walls to explode one after another, with debris flying all over the sky, crushing a small piece of zombie into a sieve. Crawlers will also be shot in half. The zombie that was directly hit was like a tomato that was crushed by a train, bursting open. When there are many zombies, Lin Chen will lift the tubular pulse catapult gun and activate the lawn mower mode, erasing them one by one. What is the situation? If I remember correctly, it seems that this kind of gun won't appear in this dungeon. The invigilator looked puzzled. I don't think he's playing a zombie game, but a demolition game. This gun is dozens of times more powerful than a tank armor-piercing bullet. The grade director furrowed his brow and said his guess, he can't cheat anymore, can he? The principal immediately reprimanded, what cheating? Humans have been in the dungeon world for so many years, and you heard who can cheat in the dungeon world. In my opinion, there are only two speculations that can explain the current situation. What two? Asked the grade teacher. The principal found a seat and sat down elegantly, saying, either there is a loophole in the dimension wall of the dungeon world, dropping weapons that do not belong to this world, or this student has awakened a powerful talent that we do not know and achieved this with the help of talent. If it's the former, then he's just lucky. If it's the latter, then we need to consider whether to use the school's resources to cultivate him. He is very likely to be admitted to the best university in Kyoto and become famous overnight. After the exam, please ask him to come to my office. The grade teacher posed at attention and said, got it. The birth of a genius will affect many people, the reputation of the school will be greater, and the relevant teachers will also receive salary increases and promotions. This is how one person can achieve success, and a dog can ascend to heaven. At this point, within the replica Lu Luo lay on the rocking chair with his eyes closed, swaying and listening to the music composed of gunshots. It seems that no one has brought zombies over for a while. So he opened his mouth and asked, have all the zombies in the vicinity been killed? Let's go, let's find another place. Why hasn't anyone answered? Where are the people? Lu Luo opened his eyes and found that none of his classmates were around him, while on the other side of the street, a giant with a left-hand RPG and a right-hand Gatling was lifting an RPG towards him. Bang, accompanied by a violent explosion, Lu Luo split into pieces. 3 seconds later, a melted shoe fell to the ground. After Lin Chen killed all the nearby zombies, he increased the magnification of the sight and began to look farther away. The weeding game is not fun, but the sniping game is more fun. Lin Chen's gun barrel swayed randomly, and soon discovered a huge zombie with a heavy weapon in hand. Tyrant. Lin Chen was stunned. The tyrant in front of him was exactly the same as what he had seen in the film in his previous life. The same black, the same thick, and the same fierce firepower. In previous life movies, the tyrant exerted a little force and the entire special forces team couldn't bear it. Here, I'm afraid all the students in the school gathered together and were just giving him a headshot. I don't know if you can withstand my bullet. After speaking, Lin Chen aimed at the tyrant's chest and pulled the trigger. The tyrant is truly one of the most powerful weapons of the Umbrella Company. He sensed danger out of thin air and took evasive actions. Unfortunately, the bullet speed of the Gauss sniper rifle was too fast, leaving too little time for the tyrant to dodge, but he did not. The bullet entered the tyrant's left waist, leaving a huge hole the size of a basin, and one arm severed from its joint. Although this shot did not break the tyrant in two, he also lost his mobility. Lin Chen saw that the first shot was crooked, so he fired 10 more shots. The tyrant, along with his weapons, was blasted into powder. Gold coins plus 10,000 Umbrella Protection Company on screen. The tyrant has just eliminated a human team. Then, the screen went black. The tyrant who dodged Lin Chen's first shot recorded the destructive power of that shot with his eyes, as well as half of his shattered body. Then, the screen went black. The surrounding drones quickly found the tyrant, but unfortunately, no weapon fragments were found. I only saw 11 huge pits connected together. Weskier slammed his hand heavily on the keyboard and said, "Find out who eliminated the tyrant. I want to capture him alive and transform him into a greater work." 10 drones took off and quickly found Lin Chen lying upstairs playing shooting games. Release flesh and blood. Induce the zombie over and consume his stamina. 10 more drones took off, throwing flesh and blood from a height of 500 meters and placing them near Lin Chen. He also drew a roadmap with blood, attracting a continuous stream of zombies to move towards Lin Chen. Because the drone flew very high, Lin Chen didn't notice it, just felt like there were more and more zombies. Sniper guns can't hit at all. After switching to a tubular pulse catapult gun, the pressure did indeed ease a lot, but there were still more and more zombies. Moreover, Lin Chen was shooting downwards from the top floor, as if holding a pen and sliding back and forth on the completely black interface. The area that has been struck will turn black into white, but black will continue to flow towards the center. The pen in Lin Chen's hand, which had erased everything, also began to slip. The densely packed zombies have broken through the first floor and are approaching Lin Chen through the stairs. Lin Chen took out a grenade, threw it down with force, and immediately squatted down. There was no explosion sound, and dozens of red lasers shot straight into the sky. Downstairs, densely packed zombies and a large number of cars turned into fragments, but only limited to one intersection. The laser's energy could penetrate up to 1 meter of concrete walls, and the zombies on the other side of the building escaped unharmed. Lin Chen decisively threw another plasma grenade at another intersection, with hundreds of basketball-sized plasma balls rolling on the ground. Wherever he went, the ground turned into lava, and the zombies turned into red liquid with the help of air. This grenade destroyed even the foundation of the building, and the building began to shake as if it was about to collapse at any moment. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. The End of Umbrella Company. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. The End of Umbrella Company. The drone is secretly filming over Lin Chen. Inside the Umbrella Company, Weskier, who has always had a paralyzed face, also opened his mouth wide and said, his weapons and ammunition should have run out. When he is infected by zombies, let the drone bring him back. The people inside the base stared at the screen with great interest, intending to see Lin Chen infected by zombies and turned into a zombie. The next second, Lin Chen's feet spewed a strong airflow into the sky. Umbrella base. How could there be drones here? You have discovered that the Umbrella Fund is monitoring you. You have triggered a mandatory branch task level, 3 stars, task description. Survive under the attack of the Umbrella base until exiting the dungeon. Lin Chen is angry. Even a mere Umbrella company dares to provoke me. I thought I didn't know where you were underground, right? Speaking, he turned the direction and flew to the nursing home, which is the above-ground base of the Raccoon City Umbrella Protection Company. Dozens of people holding shield special rifles rushed out of the nursing home, ready to take action. These are the base guards of the Umbrella Protection Company, equipped with excellent equipment comparable to special forces. These dozens of people entering the city can hunt down thousands of students in just one day. Now, they have aimed dozens of guns at one person, which is Lin Chen. In the earphones, a cold male voice rang out. Fire. Dozens of special rifles fired at the same time, and the sound of metal impact continued for a full 10 seconds. The bullets bounced onto the ground, creating smoke and dust. After removing the magazine, the guard leader said to the earphones, the target has been eliminated. Wait, what? This is impossible. The smoke and dust dispersed, and Lin Chen was unharmed. The hardness of Mark's armor is quite outrageous. Even if hit directly by tank shells, it only sheds some paint, and rifle bullets do not break through the defense at all. You're done. It's my turn. Lin Chen raised the tubular pulse ejection gun with one hand and activated the lawnmower mode. If there is any difference between soldiers wearing bulletproof vests and zombies, That's because the soldiers in bulletproof vests gave more gold coins. Gold coins plus 300, gold coins plus 300, gold coins plus 300. 3 seconds later. In front of Lin Chen, there was only a piece of red land left. And 3 weapon boxes falling from the sky. Inside are a shield, a bulletproof vest, and 3 grenades. Lin Chen was speechless, unsure if it was his own fault or if the dropped weapon box had been pulled across like this. Upgrade the bulletproof vest to a Shura armor summoner, and upgrade all regular grenades to plasma grenades. Afterwards, external cheats were triggered on the shield. Shield can be upgraded, Renovation Plan 1. Partial Guidance Shield, Consumption. 200 gold coins, Effect. Using a gravity field to deflect bullets, the direction of the projectile, passively triggered, only effective on targets above the speed of sound. Transformation Plan 2. Nano Shield, Consumption. 250 gold coins, Effect. Crystal Shield from Nanocore, actively activated, amazing defense. Transformation Plan 3. Magic Shield, Consumption. 300 gold coins, Effect. Use magic to distort space and rebound damage. Not bad, truly a cheat, each one is very powerful. I choose Nano Shields. At present, it is invincible, and the power of the shield is not important. The key is to be handsome. It is obvious that both the first and third shields are invisible. Lin Chen didn't remember where the entrance of Raccoon City was, so he flew up to 500 meters in the air and dropped a gravity grenade. According to the attack range of the plasma grenade, a distance of 500 meters should be safe. Bang, the explosion formed a black space black hole, and the huge gravity instantly tore apart the entire nursing home. Lin Chen was also captured by gravity and fell rapidly. Fortunately, Mark's armor was nuclear-powered and had strong power, which slowed down the falling speed. By the time the black hole disappeared, Lin Chen had already been pulled from an altitude of 500 meters to 400 meters. On the ground, there is a large pit with a radius exceeding 50 meters. Within this range, all material is sucked into the vicinity of the black hole, forming a large ball with a diameter of 10 meters, which falls to the bottom of the pit. The subway entrance leading to the umbrella company appears in front of Lin Chen. Lin Chen looked at his rudimentary equipment and resolutely flew into the subway passage, holding a tubular pulse catapult gun. Cleaning up miscellaneous soldiers, the tubular pulse catapult gun is the best option. As long as the muzzle is shaken, a dense barrage can be formed without any fish escaping the net. Whether it's a crawler or a hellhound, in front of a firing rate of 100,000 rounds per second, they are just a piece of paper. This is a unilateral massacre. Passing through the railway tunnel, Lin Chen faced a downward elevator. Lin Chen used a gun to make a big hole in the elevator door and then threw a plasma grenade down. The terrifying plasma melted everything while being connected to the umbrella company's power grid. In an instant, all electronic devices in the entire protective umbrella base were burned out by the overloaded current. All personnel sitting in front of the computer, without exception, were forced to stop their hearts by the strong current, and the entire underground base became pitch black. Whisk jumped several meters and ran towards the elevator passage, the pitch-black environment causing him no trouble. He wanted to strangle the red man with his own hands. Lin Chen began to hesitate whether to jump down the elevator shaft. The reason for hesitation is simple. Lin Chen remembered that there was only one exit in the underground base of Raccoon City. As long as the exit was blocked, the opponent would naturally be completely destroyed. It's definitely not that I'm afraid of the dark. Your total number of coins has exceeded 1 million, reaching the dungeon limit. You can upgrade your cheats and firearms by consuming all your coins. Lin Chen touched his steel bald head with his own steel hand and said, "This cheat is so outrageous that it can even be upgraded." Then upgrade. Let me see how powerful the ultimate weapon is. Gaussian sniper rifle upgraded to Gaussian antimatter sniper rifle, effect. Bullets upgraded to antimatter bullets, bullet yield, 10 tons of TNT, this sniper rifle can shoot through Dubai Tower, the tubular pulse catapult gun has been upgraded to an ultra-high energy laser cannon, effect. Laser power of 100 billion watts, give it enough time, this gun can shoot through planets, Mark 5 armor upgraded to Mark 500, effect. Super artificial intelligence assistance, divine level technology, and arbitrary deformation, plasma grenade upgraded to antimatter grenade, antimatter grenade. Grenade yield. 10 million tons of TNT, can be set with delayed explosion, it is recommended to avoid billions of points as much as possible, nano shield upgraded to at force field, effect. Absolute defense. Lin Chen has heard of the antimatter weapon, which uses a magnetic field generated by a superconducting coil to confine a drop of antimatter inside a bullet, grenade. As long as the magnetic field is destroyed, the internal antimatter will collide with the shell, resulting in the annihilation of positive and negative matter. As for its stance, this is definitely on Gundam. Defense is claimed to be absolute, but of course, it's not impossible to break it, it's just that the threshold for breaking it is very high. This equipment is enough for one person to enemy the country. Lin Chen looked at the antimatter grenade in his hand and then at the elevator shaft. I have an idea. After setting the explosion time to 30 minutes, Lin Chen opened the safety pin of the grenade and threw it into the elevator shaft. Then followed the railway passage and quickly left the underground. When leaving the channel, Lin Chen did not forget to shoot an antimatter bullet at the channel. On the other side, just as Weskier crawled out of the ground, he saw a bullet shooting towards his face. Bang! Accompanied by a loud bang and a violent shock wave, the passage completely collapsed. You have been noticed by the Umbrella Owner Company, you have angered the Umbrella Company, the Osprey fighter jets have all taken off, you have triggered a mandatory branch task, task level, 4 stars, task description. Survive under the attack of Umbrella Company until exiting the dungeon, warning. A nuclear strike from Umbrella Company will arrive in 30 minutes. In the monitoring room, the principal turned off his laptop and said, I found out that the red armor comes from a dungeon called the Avengers, and the owner of the red armor is called Stark. His other equipment should also come from other dungeons. Lin Chen is just a lucky kid who found weapons from other dungeons. He can't compare with Lu Lang, Yi Yu, and others. After all, I'm already in my 3rd year of high school. If I had a talent, I would have discovered it long ago. Besides, game talents can only play a supporting role. Such a powerful weapon is definitely not something that game talents can achieve. It's only possible that there are loopholes in the dimensional wall, and monsters in the dungeon world often appear in our world, isn't it? When the teachers around heard the principal's explanation, they suddenly realized that it was a pity. If Lin Chen awakened his strong talent, it would undoubtedly be a good opportunity for the school to become famous. Encountering a replica vulnerability only indicates that he has good luck. The probability of this happening is very small, just like winning the lottery, it tends to zero infinitely. It seems that Lin Chen's initial 100 shots and 100 hits were probably just a gun that could lock its head. How could someone become a firearms master in just a few days? A stroke of good luck does not necessarily indicate strong abilities. On a larger stage, such as the National College Entrance Examination, one's true form will still be revealed. After confirming that Lin Chen was not worth cultivating, the principal asked someone to cut the screen and look at other students who performed well. The talent that drops 3 times is really powerful. Lu Lang and Feng Momo already have the Gatling chariot, and this year's 2nd and 3rd place are undoubtedly the 2 of them. Although the other students are also good, they are undoubtedly much inferior compared to them. Let's do this. The directors will discuss and arrange the most suitable dungeon for each of them, so that they can accumulate some experience before the college entrance examination and bring glory to the school. After speaking, the principal is preparing to leave. Director. Principal, wait a moment, come and take a look. The ground of Raccoon City began to tremble wildly, with two large bags bulging up. Eventually, the bags collapsed, forming two connected kilometer-long pits. Several male teachers made a gesture of reaching into the pit, while a newly hired female teacher saw it and shyly covered her face. At the same time, a missile flew to the center of the city and exploded in the air, causing terrifying heat and shock waves to spread rapidly. Buildings were shattered by powerful shock waves. Raccoon City has been destroyed. Principal, it seems that all our students have been wiped out. What do you think should be done? Asked the grade teacher. Without completing the dungeon, there will be no basic rewards, which means that students in the entire grade cannot obtain anything except for the experience given by the dungeon. The principal pondered for a moment and said, "Take out 1 million universal coins and distribute them to the students who died under the nuclear bomb based on the number of zombies killed. The final score will be ranked based on the number of zombies killed." The principal is wise. The principal is beautiful. The principal has a beautiful heart and a more beautiful heart, after a period of time. The Umbrella Group has completely felt despair. The hundreds of Osprey helicopters he dispatched were like toys in front of Lin Chen. As long as it is scanned by a laser, it will explode instantly. And there is also an invisible stance around Lin Chen's body. Missiles or even nuclear bombs have no effect on him. This is a unilateral massacre. Tokyo Main Base Underground. Dr. Isaacs, the CEO of the Umbrella Protection Company, trembled while holding a teddy bear. The higher the position of a person, the more afraid they are of death. Fortunately, they are good at using other people's lives to get what they want. And now, it seems like I can't escape. Umbrellas are already the strongest company on this planet, able to mobilize all types of weapons and equipment on the entire planet, and manipulate the fate of a planet. But these have no effect in front of that red armor. He is so small and powerful, with continuous firepower that cannot be seen to the end. The dense nuclear strikes that can move mountains and fill the sea appear weak and powerless in front of the armor and shield. What else can one do if a nuclear bomb cannot break through defense? I can't do anything by myself. The Raccoon City Base, Kamchatka Peninsula Submarine Base, and North American Branch have all been destroyed. The city of Las Vegas near the North American base is still a human city, but the red armor has no concerns and directly used nuclear weapons. The 4 major bases are all located kilometers underground and were originally designed to ignore nuclear strikes. The premise is that nuclear weapons detonate at high altitude. If a nuclear weapon detonates 2,000 meters underground, the underground base can only be squeezed into fragments. Is the idea of ruling the world by oneself ultimately just a dream? No, even if it's death, I want more people to be buried with me. After thinking it out clearly, Dr. Isaacs opened his computer and issued the final command. Release the T-virus throughout RB. Afterwards, Dr. Isaac opened the safe, took out a square button from inside, and pressed it down. The outer periphery of the solar system. A huge spaceship is flying towards the Earth. On the spaceship, several Ares people were chatting in the control room. Searle. General Miller, Earth is truly a magical planet. 30 years ago, General Lufa, who was fighting the Milky Way, died here. Unexpectedly, not long after the deployment of the ancestor virus, researchers there had already made considerable research achievements. After Lufa was executed and King Peel stepped down, Ares's power structure reorganized. Miller was the new leader of Ares's armored army, while Cell was the head of the Ancestor Virus Research Institute. General Miller nodded and said, "The ancestor virus has a powerful ability to enhance consciousness. Unfortunately, all the people in our tribe who voluntarily fused with the ancestor virus died within 3 days, and can only gain a short-term increase in combat power. Cell, if the Earth you are in charge of really develops a plan to fuse the ancestor virus, your merit will be above the road method. If each of us soldiers can fuse the ancestral virus and care about the help of armor, our combat power will increase by more than 100 times. We will step out of the galaxy and into the universe. Searle was also very happy. "General, it's not my fault. It's a research base called Umbrella Company on Earth. And now, there are only some achievements, whether they can adapt to the Ares people is still unknown." General Miller nodded and said, "There's hope, it's always good. We just need results within 1,000 years. Suddenly, Searle's armor summoner began to flicker wildly. "General, it's not good. The puppet I'm supporting on Earth is asking for help from me." The general immediately ordered, "There's no need to lose the ancestor virus. Pass on my command, the spaceship will overload and accelerate. Earth Jarvis. The surveillance shows that the virus has been deployed in RB, and some infected individuals have left by railway. The virus is no longer under control. Lin Chen. Surveillance. Can you invade their network? Jarvis. It's all easy. Lin Chen. Can a nuclear bomb be called? Jarvis. The global missile and nuclear firewall has been cracked and can be launched at any time." Lin Chen glanced at the time and realized that he was about to exit the dungeon in an hour. It was impossible to accurately eliminate all the zombies in the island country. The biochemical crisis has not yet completely erupted. As long as we eliminate the Umbrella Company and all the zombies, perhaps we can change the future of this world. Jarvis, can we launch a nuclear bomb independently and completely eliminate the Umbrella Company and all zombies, leaving no one behind? Jarvis. 1032 targets have been locked and can be launched at any time. Lin Chen. Launch immediately. At a certain base in North America, the missile well automatically exploded, the engine ignited, and it rushed out of the launch well. What's going on? Why did our missile launch itself? Quick, contact the president. This scene is still happening in many places. More than 3,000 missiles were launched from around the world, including 1,000 nuclear warheads that landed in various parts of RB, causing severe earthquakes and tsunamis. Soon, the island nation will sink into the deep sea. Before the sinking of the island nation, the heat of thousands of nuclear bombs had precisely destroyed RB's T-virus. The remaining 2,000 conventional missiles were deployed to parachute branches around the world. The Umbrella Company has 4 major biochemical bases, as well as countless pharmaceutical and technology companies, all of which have been destroyed. This wave accidentally injured 100 million ordinary people. This is the problem with electric cars. Pulling the switch will crush one person, and not pulling the switch will crush 70 people. Can you pull that switch? The moralists believe that life is priceless, and we cannot harm that person just to save 70 people. The utilitarian school believes that exchanging 1 for 70 is a sure way to make a profit without losing. Lin Chen has no morality, so he won't be kidnapped by morality. He just wants to vent his anger and destroy the Umbrella Company. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Ares Armor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Ares Armor. Upon arriving on Earth and learning about the situation, sales suddenly collapsed, and all the research bases he supported were destroyed. Ares's hope to conquer the universe was destroyed by the research achievements of the Umbrella Company. Through the information uploaded from the Umbrella base, Cell quickly locked in Lin Chen's position. A huge warship appeared over Lin Chen, with a length of tens of thousands of meters. A huge dark energy particle cannon hangs directly below the warship. A armored Ares man piloted an airship out of the warship and flew towards Lin Chen. Lin Chen was stunned. How could the Ares people appear in the world of biochemical crisis? This is just as outrageous as obtaining the Shura armor oneself. Quickly, Lin Chen thought of a possibility. Xing Tian, Fei Ying, and Kong Kong are the standard armor of the planet Ares, with the main source of energy being psychic. However, for those infected with the ancestor virus, destructive power can be unleashed with consciousness alone. Is the energy Alice uses to fight consciousness psychic? The ancestral virus does not spread infections because people who inhale it will soon die. The purpose of umbrella company research is to control the ancestral virus, and T-virus is just a byproduct of the ancestral virus. Can it be said that people from the planet Ares brought the ancestral virus to Earth for research, in order to obtain a method for fusing the ancestral virus? If Ares really finds a perfect way to fuse the ancestral virus, the Ares Armored Legion may be able to leave the galaxy and occupy more galaxies. Just as Lin Chen was pondering, a person wearing the armor of Xingtian stood in front of him and angrily shouted at him, "Ah ah! My ancestor virus! Ares' hope for the future, you die." The ultimate punishment of heaven and earth, a burning field covered Lin Chen. Searle continued, "You have already committed the crime of greed under the galactic justice law. I declare that I will strip you of all your power and completely destroy you. Bear the anger from Ares. Firelight sword technique. Is that right?" Lin Chen raised his ultra-high-energy laser gun and gently swept it over Searle. The powerful energy instantly exceeded the limit of the armor, forcing it to disintegrate and Searle to be beheaded. The power of this laser weapon is extremely terrifying, with an output power even higher than that of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Suffering a powerful attack, the armor can only disintegrate. Ares Star Man, right. Must be killed. Lin Chen walked over step by step and stepped on the upper body of this Ares Star Man. Killing the ancestor virus is an infringement of Ares property. Do you want to kill me for the crime of greed? You Ares people are not a good thing either. In order to obtain the throne of the Galactic King legally, a cosmic law issued by stronger people, how many energy crystals have you seized and how many planets have you destroyed? Does this name really matter? In order to enhance the strength of armored troops, is another planet used as a testing ground? Isn't it good for you to use technology to help the planets in the Milky Way develop rapidly, facilitate commercial communication, complement resources, and work together to become stronger? Why should you conquer the Milky Way and destroy it everywhere? In order to ascend to the throne of the Galactic King, King Pier took away half of the energy crystals in the galaxy, while Lufa took away the other half for this throne. The entire galaxy is left with only 2 living planets, Ares and Earth. Why, are you also going to destroy this one? The energy crystals of a planet are taken away, and life on this planet will soon die out. In this dimension of the Milky Way, only Earth and Ares have energy crystals left, while the rest of the life planets have been destroyed by Ares. What galaxy justice law, do you also deserve to say justice? If a hard fist is justice, then I think the only person here who is qualified to say justice is me. Searle, who had already been cut to the waist, was speechless and closed his eyes. Soon, the system prompt appeared. You have discovered the truth. The source of the virus, extra reward. Perfect version of ancestor virus, you have angered the soldiers on the planet Ares. 100 days of punishment, 100 flying shadows, 100 Vajras driving a shuttle boat. A crazy attack was launched against Lin Chen. The power of armor is quite powerful. A punch can unleash several tons of power, and an armored team can easily defeat an army without damage. The weapon power of shuttle boats is even stronger by 1 level. Dense light bullets kept shooting towards Lin Chen, but unable to break Lin Chen's defense of the force field. However, severe light pollution severely hindered Lin Chen's vision. Lin Chen could only pick up an ultra-high energy laser cannon and shoot indiscriminately into the sky. Armor is unstoppable, and the defense of armor depends on the warrior's willpower. Unfortunately, the soldiers who come out are the most ordinary soldiers of Ares, with limited willpower and will die if touched. This battle was very thrilling. Fortunately, Lin Chen's weapon came with its own space and unlimited energy. In just half an hour, all 300 shuttle boats were destroyed. Lin Chen looked at the Ares warship in the air. Generally speaking, the larger the spacecraft, the more fragile it becomes. Small airships can evade attacks, while large warships can only stand still and be beaten. The function of a massive warship is similar to that of an aircraft carrier, mainly providing a combat platform and serving as a supply station for combat units. If the Ares battleship loses its shuttle, it is equivalent to an aircraft carrier losing its aircraft, just a target that has been hit. Lin Chen aimed his gun at the Ares warship and pulled the trigger. The high-energy laser instantly hit the warship, consuming the energy of the warship's shield wildly. When competing for energy reserves, system cheats naturally won't lose. 20 minutes later, the shield energy was depleted, and Lin Chen's laser pierced through the Ares warship. General Miller inside the warship also lost the opportunity to confront Lin Chen. The 3-day countdown ends. You have cleared this dungeon. You have received basic clearance rewards, as follows. Universal coin 10,000, experience 1,000, killing 1,000 zombies earns double the basic reward, as follows. Universal coin 20,000, experience 2,000, you performed well in the dungeon and received additional rewards, beginner level skill book. Zombie control, congratulations, you have completely resolved the biochemical crisis, Resident Evil dungeon gate permanently closed, all rewards above doubled, final reward. Extra skill slots, you have defeated the Miller Legion, you receive a reward. Shura armor, quality. The quality sequence of equipment is ordinary, good, excellent, rare, epic, legendary, mythological. The skill quality sequence is entry. Level, ordinary level, warrior level, warrior level, warrior level, war god level, all go. The reward for killing through the dungeon is actually an additional skill slot. Lin Chen is ecstatic skills are the means to unleash a person's combat power. Similar to soul skills in Doluo. The number of skill slots is limited. In the dungeon world LV1.LV9 professionals only have one skill slot that can be unlocked during LV5. LV10.LV19 professionals have 2 skill slots that can be unlocked during LV10. After every 10 levels, 1 skill slot can be unlocked. Having an additional skill slot is crucial for any profession. As far as Lin Chen knows. 4 years ago, a top scorer in the college entrance examination obtained an additional skill slot by killing through dungeons. A wealthy person was willing to offer millions of universal coins to purchase, but the top scorer did not agree. It can be imagined that skill slots are precious, and on the other hand, it also demonstrates that this champion has the determination to reach the top of the world. The higher the level, the more precious an additional skill becomes. For low-level professionals, it is not very helpful and far less attractive than a massive amount of universal coins. In this instance, there are 60,000 universal coins alone. There is also a pair of Shura armor in the reward, which is the only armor on the planet Ares that has not been mass-produced and has unique attributes. Perhaps due to material limitations, it cannot be mass-produced. Quality is 3 question marks. This indicates that the quality and upper limit of this armor are very high. It is also possible that the armor material is special and cannot be rated. Epic level equipment must use billions of universal coins as units. This galaxy's unique super armor. It is no longer possible to value it with money. After all, this armor can influence time and space, travel through time, and go back to the past. Starting later and arriving first, on the surface, it is the enemy who takes action first, but I can see that after the enemy takes action, they can react in advance before returning. That is to say, I will respond first before the other party takes action. Just this point alone has already surpassed the mythological level. Of course, this is for Lin Chen. Because there are professionals on the Blue Star who practice pulse, magic, genetic energy, and force. Unfortunately, for those who lack the ability to cultivate, armor is like a chicken rib to them. The power of Yen Emperor and Lu Fa can only be described as average. Any person infected with the ancestral virus has a stronger ability than the two of them. Although the righteous energy of Emperor Yen and the evil energy of the road method are powerful, they have not yet reached the point where they affect reality out of thin air. However, infected individuals with the ancestral virus can. In other words, the ancestor virus is the key to opening the door to psychic energy. In the dungeon, Lin Chen did not wear the Shura armor because he had no intention or ability. When he fused with the ancestral virus and was able to surpass Yan Emperor and Lu Fa, he didn't know how powerful this armor could be. Thinking of this, Lin Chen was already looking forward to it. Ah! What a wonderful start! Exiting Dungeon World, Universal Coin received, the remaining rewards have been distributed to the space inside the bracelet, experience value statistics completed, your level has been upgraded to LV4, your level has been upgraded to LV5, your level has been upgraded to LV9, return to your seat in the real world. Lin Chen felt comfortable all over, it was a wonderful feeling brought by the level increase. Raise your hand. Lin Chen looked at his own data, name. Lin Chen, level. LV9, 890/900, Universal Coin. 60250, there are 3 free opportunities to enter dungeons in high school. Ordinary students must make good use of these 3 opportunities to improve their grades. Only those with a LV5 level can participate in the college entrance examination. Before entering the dungeon, I was just a scumbag who had just reached LV3. Now, I am already a super top student of LV9. You should know that among high school students, there are only a few people in a class who can advance to LV5 through several opportunities to enter dungeons. In other words, most people, after graduating from high school, end their studies and enter society at the level of LV3 or LV2. People at this level are stronger than those who have not attended high school, but they are not much stronger. They belong to the gap that ordinary people can make up for with hard work and exercise. In fact, the skill level that LV5 can learn is also very low, defaulting to less than LV10, and ultimately being immortal. Even if they are admitted to university, most people cannot reach the graduation level of LV10. And Lin Chen is only one step away from LV10. It's equivalent to being at the level of a senior graduate before taking the college entrance examination. More than just a little bit ahead. At this moment, the class is very lively. The eliminated students all withdrew from the dungeon early. Chatting on the seat. Lu Lang spoke confidently, you left early and didn't see the nuclear bomb explode. It's such a big fireball. It's particularly beautiful, but unfortunately, I only watched for 2 seconds before being crushed by the shockwave. It's a pity that I didn't see anything right below the nuclear bomb. Crouching slot, nuclear weapons, big scene. Wolf brother is like a cow, he can still calmly watch for 2 seconds when facing nuclear weapons. Feng Momo stayed a little longer when receiving the reward, but came out a bit late. As soon as he came out, he made a small jump and hung it on Lu Lang's body. Thanks to my brother's help this time, although I didn't receive the basic reward, I killed a large number of zombies and gained a lot of experience. Look. I am now LV6. As he spoke, he took out a book from his bracelet and pressed it on Lu Lang's chest. And I also obtained a skill book called Gunfighting. According to the introduction, the trajectory of the shot can be turned into an arc, and the enemy who hits the cover can be given to you. Lu Lang hugged Feng Momo's waist and took the skill book with the other hand. He laughed and said, it really suits me, so I'll accept it. When I find the skill book that suits you in the future, I'll give you another one. Feng Momo took the opportunity to enter Lu Lang's arms and said, I just don't know how Lin Chen is doing. Lu Lang laughed and said, he doesn't want to take the college entrance examination. He should have gone on a trip yesterday, don't worry. In Lu Lang's perception, Lin Chen did not come out with him and should have been eliminated earlier, and did not persist until the nuclear bomb exploded. With a flash of light, Lin Chen returned to his seat. Seeing Lin Chen come out of the dungeon, Lu Lang was shocked and took the initiative to ask, what's the situation? How did you come out? Lin Chen scratched his head and said truthfully, there are too many rewards for completing the levels. It took some time to collect the rewards. My classmates around me suddenly laughed, ha ha ha, I'm laughing to death. Lin Chen said he cleared the level. There were too many rewards, so it came out a bit late. Why didn't you say that you eliminated the T-virus? In terms of pretense, it all depends on Lin Chen. I almost believed it. Could it be that Lin Chen didn't even enter Raccoon City and found a place to fall asleep? Don't tell me, is it really possible? Lu Lang was quite familiar with Lin Chen and knew he wouldn't joke, so he continued to ask, what exactly happened? At this moment the grade teacher entered the classroom and walked over with a smile on his face. Lin Chen, congratulations on winning first place in the final exam. The principal has invited you to her office to receive the reward for the first place. Moment the noisy classroom became as silent as death. Under the guidance of the grade director, Lin Chen arrived at the principal's office. Lin Chen, find a seat at will. I'll give you a reward. Although the principal is in his 40s, he has a good figure and well-maintained skin. Every move carries a unique charm, and Lin Chen couldn't help but take a second look. Hello principal. Lin Chen sat on the sofa, opened the drawer with broken hands, only glanced at it, and instantly closed it. Not letting Lin Chen wait too long, the principal walked over with a small box and placed it on the table. These copy cards, there are rewards given by the school, as well as those given to me by boys. Take a look and choose one as your top reward for the end of term. There are 3 types of replica entrances, namely replica cards, small area replicas, and large area replicas. The dungeon card is made from materials near the starry sky core, allowing only a few people to enter a specific dungeon world and can only be used once. The small area replica machine has a small amount of powder inside the starry sky core, which can allow multiple players in a small area to enter and can be reused. Large area dungeons are formed by multiple small area dungeons online. The more machines online, the larger the range, and the maximum ability for global players to enter a dungeon simultaneously. The final exam uses a small area replica machine, which belongs to the National Professional Association and is only temporarily lent to schools and not sold on the market. After confirming that Lin Chen was just a lucky kid, the principal lacked interest. The original first place winner was to find the most suitable replica card from the school's collection as a gift. What is now in front of Lin Chen is only a gift from the licking dog to the principal, and it is only a part of it. Compared to replica machines that support multiple people and multiple entries, replica cards that can only be used once are relatively cheaper. However, the difficulty level of the dungeon is the main factor affecting the card price. The higher the level of the dungeon, the more experience points can be obtained, and the rewards for completing the level will also be better. Card levels are divided into F, E, D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS. For every level increase, the price generally doubles 10 times. Single-player dungeons have the benefits of single-player dungeons. For example, if there are no competitors, as long as you pass the level, you can receive all the rewards. Multiplayer dungeons have more variables, involving more team collaboration and competition, and may also be eliminated early by teammates. For example, in the Resident Evil dungeon, many people were accidentally injured by Lin Chen and were eliminated early without receiving basic rewards. This time, the principal provided all single-player duplicate cards. In this box of duplicate cards, most of them are placed in exquisite envelopes. The envelope contained not only cards but also letters. Lin Chen accidentally glanced at them a few times, feeling a bit numb. However, he noticed that the principal didn't care, so Lin Chen took a few more glances afterwards. The principal probably didn't read any of these letters. This is the sadness of the licking dog. The carefully prepared gift was thrown into the trash can by the goddess. In his past life, Lin Chen was still in the flower next to the trash can and took out a fruit phone, the latest version and highest configuration. Hey! After opening all the envelopes, Lin Chen classified the cards according to their levels. The number of dungeon cards at level F is the lowest, with only 2 cards, namely Plants vs Zombies and Defending Carrots. The number of dungeon cards at level E is the highest, with over 20 cards, including Resident Evil 2, Aliens, and so on. There are 3 D.level dungeon cards, namely Anti-Japanese Legend, StarCraft, and Red Alert. The principal looked at Lin Chen for a while but still couldn't make a choice. He felt a little impatient and said, "I suggest you choose a simple dungeon that suits you, and choose from the F level. This way, you can choose a dungeon and have a higher probability of receiving a clearance reward. I feel like the F level is too low. You can also choose a simple one from the E level and prioritize passing the level, okay? There is only one chance to choose, I hope you choose carefully." Lin Chen nodded approvingly, then picked up the D.level Anti-Japanese Legend and said, "Then I'll take it." There is only Sakura country in this world, but when Lin Chen saw the words anti-Japanese, he immediately became uninterested in the other 2 pictures. Because Lin Chen wants to know if the replica of this world is related to the TV dramas and movies he saw in his previous life. Why does armor actually exist in anime? Why are the 4 bases of the Umbrella Company exactly the same as what they saw in the film during the biochemical crisis? Whether the Dungeon World one is going to is the real world or the virtual world is waiting for Lin Chen to find the answer. The principal saw that Lin Chen had picked up a D.level card, and his face suddenly changed. He said seriously, "Although D.level dungeons have more rewards in cartoon levels, your chances of completing the level are basically 0. Not only will it be of no help to you, but it will also waste a dungeon card." Lin Chen scratched his head and said, "Principal, don't worry, I can sell it and exchange it for a pile of E.level dungeon cards. It won't be wasted." The principal's face turned even darker. "Am I worried about you wasting it? I am heartbroken." The principal didn't even look at the cards given by the licking dog and some male parents, so he casually threw them into this box. "I thought they were all low.level cards." Unexpectedly, only 2 of them are F.level. There are still 3 D.level photos. The F.level card was given as a gift, which is not very helpful to oneself. But for D.level cards, it's still quite reluctant. After all, even the lowest level D.level cards require hundreds of thousands of universal coins. But once everything is said, that's all we can do. Since that's the case, take this card with you. I hope you can make good use of this card to improve yourself and bring glory to the school during the college entrance examination. Thank you, Principal. Principal is grand. I wish Principal more and more beauty, and I make up for it every day. I have yogurt to drink every day. Lin Chen also saw that there were many types of yogurt placed in the principal's office, including fruit-flavored, fermented, and imported ones. There were many types, so he speculated that the principal should really like yogurt. The principal gave such a valuable thing, and of course, he also wants to give a blessing. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. New Dungeon, National War. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 New Dungeon, National War. After obtaining the consent of the principal, Lin Chen casually put the card into his storage space. In this world, the bracelet comes with a storage function, which is a citizen welfare. You can get one for free even if you get into high school. The bracelet does not require charging, and by default, it consumes 1 universal coin per month, with a default space of 1 cubic meter. To obtain greater space, it is necessary to consume more universal coins to maintain it. Leaving the principal's office, just past the corner of the stairs, a chubby person blocked the staircase entrance. If not miscalculated, this guy should have the legendary square figure, with a height and weight of 150. The unit of height is centimeters, and the unit of weight is kilograms. This body type should only be at the bottom. If it's at the top, it may crush people. There was a man and a woman following behind the fat man. The man was wearing short sleeves, and the girl was wearing a super short skirt with big bare legs. Lin Chen secretly glanced at them, they were really white and thin. 3 people completely blocked Lin Chen's way downstairs. Among the 3 people, Lin Chen only knows the chubby Lu Luo. The overlord of Class 3. I have long heard that all the boys in the class are his little brothers, helping him with his work. The women are all his little sisters, and they are also forced to wear ultra-short skirts in winter. If I had met him in the past, I would have avoided him no matter how far away I was, and dared not follow the same path as him. But now. Hee hee. A good dog is not in the way, get out of my way. Lin Chen only exerted a little force, and the fat Lu Luo was lifted up by Lin Chen like a little kid. Throwing it aside casually, he swaggered down the stairs. The 2 people following behind him looked at Lin Chen motionless. What are you waiting for? Help me up quickly. The 2 attendants, a man and a woman, suddenly realized and quickly helped Lu Luo up. Damn it, he's dead. He dares to hit me, he's dead. You 2, take me home. I want someone to kill him. Yes. No student in this school has dared to disrespect him like this. After leaving school, Lin Chen took a taxi to a villa in the suburbs. Lin Chen's family is not poor. Both of his parents are college students. His father graduated from Ka Dong Fong and is a chef at LV13. His mother graduated from Kowloon Fashion Design University and is a clothing designer at LV15. She opened an online store at home, specializing in clothes made with universal coins. It has to be said that professionals really make money. Lin Chen's mother makes a piece of clothing, and the material consumption is only 7 or 8 universal coins, but the selling price is as high as 7 or 800, and the labor cost is 99% of the clothing price. Lin Chen's clothes are made with universal coins, and they are exquisite materials worth 300 universal coins. Wearing it not only enhances a person's overall appearance, but also automatically adjusts the temperature, making it very comfortable. However, Lin Chen has not seen his father and mother for several months. My mother loves traveling and says that only in this way can there be a continuous stream of inspiration to make high-quality clothes. Dad naturally follows mom too. Be a personal chef for my mom. My parents are very kind and I have a lot of spare time. Lying on the sofa, Lin Chen saw a letter left by his father on the coffee table. The content of the letter is: Son, Dad and Mom have gone to the Pharaoh to see the pyramids. There is a pre-made dish I made for you in the refrigerator, you can eat it as soon as you heat it up. After eating, you can order takeout. There are 10,000 universal coins in the wardrobe, save some flowers, you can only go hungry after spending them. Alright, that's it, you can play it yourself. Lin Chen. Take out the universal coin from the place instructed by my father and put it in my own bracelet. Afterwards, lie down on the sofa. Memories of the feeling of invincibility in the game. Feeling the power brought by leveling up. That's really good. Time travel is thrilling. Take a look at today's rewards. Material. Ancestor virus, quality. Epic, effect. After taking it, the level is increased by 8 levels, the recovery speed is increased by 30,000%, and the mental energy is strengthened by 1,000 times. Introduction. A powerful virus from the universe with the power to transform the body. Yi Neng, it turns out that the ancestral virus has truly endowed Alice with Yi Neng. As far as Lin Chen knows, the warriors of Ares practiced psychic abilities, and the standard armor of Ares planet is also activated by psychic abilities. With his armored army, King Pier ruled the entire galaxy. The virus on that planet was sent by the people of Ares, and the Umbrella Base could never have imagined that their research would ultimately be to make wedding clothes for others. When they complete the transformation of the ancestral virus, the final result is likely to be the destruction of the entire planet by the main artillery of the Ares warship. The level of the ancestor virus is not high, and its main function is to open the door to spiritual cultivation, and it cannot directly turn a person into a super strong one. After injecting the ancestor virus into the body, Lin Chen felt that his ability to perceive consciousness was becoming stronger and stronger. He could see everything around him without his eyes, as well as the clothes in the wardrobe and inside the clothes another piece of clothing. Accompanied by headaches, a severe headache, like 10,000 needles piercing through the scalp and into the brain. Fortunately, the duration is not long. After the pain ended, Lin Chen felt an amazing improvement in his vision and hearing. Lin Chen set his gaze on the refrigerator, and a force spread from his brain, causing the refrigerator door to automatically open. The pre-packaged vegetables in the bag are automatically opened and poured onto the flying plate. Afterwards, I flew into the microwave and the heating knob automatically rotated, timed for 3 minutes. Lin Chen looked at the fishing rod again. The carbon fiber fishing rod kept bending, but in the end, it still didn't break, and its power was insufficient. Is this Neng? After experiments, Lin Chen found that controlling objects with the mind is very simple, but controlling the presence of life is very difficult. Controlling a stone to pierce through a goldfish is very simple. When Lin Chen wanted to crush the goldfish's heart with intention, the amount of intention consumed increased by dozens of times. It seems that every life possesses psychic power, which can isolate the invasion of other psychic powers, but they cannot use their own psychic power. Intentional ability requires strong willpower to stimulate, and there is an ordinary mother who lifts a car with both hands. Because her child was trapped under the car. After her child was rescued, the mother couldn't even lift the car. This is the strong awareness of protecting children, which briefly activates the mental energy within the body. Armor can also activate the mental energy within the human body, and anyone wearing armor can gain powerful power. Besides, if Lin Chen wants to use Neng, he only knows about the ancestor virus. Lin Chen had a great time playing with his ability to control the furniture around his home. I don't know how powerful it would be to activate the Shura armor with such psychic power. Xiao AI, come to music, I want to summon armor. The peak generates hypocritical support, Twilight witnesses devout believers. Ikuin, Shura, armor combination. It has been proven that calling the wrong name for armor does not affect its overall appearance. Armor is not a voice-controlled device. After putting on the Shura armor, Lin Chen felt that his strength had at least tripled. When there is no armor, the mind can be dispersed. After obtaining armor, the flow of signifiers along the armor's runes increases the utilization efficiency by at least 10 times. Bang 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 bang. The door of the villa was knocked hard by someone. Lin Chen went over and looked out through the cat's eye. 2 young men in ancient costumes holding swords stood behind a fat man. Lu Luo. Realizing that knocking on the door was fruitless, Lu Luo took a step back. The person holding the long sword took a step forward and showcased a sword flower. The steel-layered door shattered one by one and fell to the ground, revealing Lin Chen bending over. Lin Chen, wearing armor. The fat man knocked on Lin Chen's armor and said, "Hey, where are you playing cosplay? I tell you, unless you kneel down today and apologize to me, and then put the copy card of the principal's reward in my hand, next year's today will be your death day." Lin Chen leaned against the door frame and said, "I won't hand it over." "What can you do? In broad daylight, can you still kill someone? Pay for my door, otherwise I'll call the police." Lu Luo sneered, "Report to the police, do you think it's useful? I can't kill anyone, but they're not necessarily the same. These two are LV-15 level combat professionals, and they have a certain number of accidental kills every year." A dungeon beast entered the suburbs. We cleared the dungeon beast and accidentally injured a passerby. Isn't that normal? Previously, combat professionals with levels above LV10 had a kill rate. Lin Chen suddenly realized, no wonder he was so arrogant. On the continent of cultivation type, ordinary people abide by the law and are also protected by it. But cultivators can ignore most laws, use human blood to refine pills, and destroy a village during battles without anyone holding them accountable. If a cultivator frequently uses human blood, soul, and other alchemy techniques, it can also cause anger and resentment. There will be righteous cultivators from prestigious sects who will take action to kill evil cultivators and uphold justice. The world where Lin Chen is located is also such a world. Among them, professionals are similar to cultivators. You can pay for things or buy for 0 yuan. Bullying the people, as long as it is not too excessive, professional associations will turn a blind eye. However, the vast majority of people are good people who do not interfere with the world of non-professionals, but rather act as guardians. However, there are also some people who have gained power and become pests on their own and will be rewarded by professional associations. Well done, it's perfect to test the power of armor. Lin Chen's control can be concentrated on his left hand, and a powerful backhand fan hits the fat man's face. The fat man's head turned 360 degrees in place and then flew into the air. Lu Xiao. Watching the eldest son's accident, the two younger brothers realized that they were doomed, and the young master died under their own protection. Unless the head of the person in front of you is chopped off, perhaps the name can be preserved. The two of them exchanged a glance and launched their long-practiced ultimate move, the cross slash. One in front and one behind, two sword lights swung towards Lin Chen. It has to be said that this cross thrust is quite handsome. If you dodge the first sword, you cannot dodge the second sword. It can be seen that they also had some cooperation before. The sound of two metal collisions came out, and Lin Chen stood in place, eating two swords without feeling anything. Too weak, you two are really too weak. Lin Chen threw two backhand punches, and the purple energy exploded at the fist, shattering the hearts of both individuals. After killing 3 people, Lin Chen felt that his psychic power had become much stronger, with 3 more black dots added to his colorless and transparent psychic power. The introduction of Shura armor seems to contain the cultivation method of spiritual power, as it can become a god and evil can become a demon. Can we say that killing can accumulate mental energy? I don't know if doing good deeds can accumulate mental energy. Thinking of this, Lin Chen dug a pit on the spot, buried 3 people, and then called a car to find a pedestrian walkway to help the old lady cross the road one by one. He stayed there for a whole half day and helped 16 old ladies. There is a throwing effect. The black dots on the signifier changed from 3 to 2, and Lin Chen used his consciousness to control the water flow and write letters in the air over and over again, feeling the flow of the signifier. Sure enough, doing good things can also accumulate mental energy. How do you feel? My strength seems to have weakened. Can we say that meaning can distinguish between good and evil, and the two will cancel each other out and cannot be possessed at the same time? Here comes the old lady again. Lin Chen quickly crossed the road, helped the old lady up, and walked slowly onto the sidewalk. Drip by drop, the sound of the car horn rang out wildly. Trove, can you hurry up? Walk like a turtle crawling. Okay, I'll walk faster now, urged by passers-by. Lin Chen picked up the old lady, took a slow step, and quickly escorted her to the opposite side. The wife inside the car was very dissatisfied with the man's behavior and said, "Can't we talk well? What if we provoke a strong person? I heard that those professionals have murder quotas every year." The man slapped the woman in the face and said, "Stinky woman, talk nonsense. Don't you know that professionals can't mess with me? Have you ever seen professionals helping people cross the road? When professionals travel, it's not a high-end sports car. I tell you, when men talk, women don't interrupt and throw you off." After speaking, the man reversed the car in place for a distance, then accelerated and rushed forward. This section of the terrain is relatively low, with a centimeter-thick accumulation of water on the road surface. Seeing the splashing dirty water, Lin Chen instinctively summoned armor and propped up an energy shield. Fortunately, the response was timely. Otherwise, I and my grandmother will definitely become drowned rats. Lin Chen is angry. Did Grandma provoke you? There is not much standing water on the ground. As long as you drive it slowly, the water won't splash at all. This is definitely intentional. Lin Chen shifted his form and shadow to the front of the car, punching the front of the car. The car, which was traveling at a speed of 50.60 km per hour, was instantly forced to stop, and the driver without a seatbelt hit the glass and rushed down from the front of the car. Lin Chen tore the man's clothes 3 times, 5 times, and 2 times, twisted them into a rope, and hung the man on the street lamp, specifically selecting the road section with more water accumulation. I also paid to hire 2 people specifically to guide the car to splash water. Strike down lawlessness and annihilate evil. Evil people deserve retribution. I feel that my black spot has disappeared again. Lin Chen became excited. It turned out that cracking down on evil was the shortcut to cultivating spiritual power. Lin Chen started shopping on the road, cracking down on every sin he encountered. The robber was stripped naked and hung on a tree. The little fairy who cut in line and cursed at the scenic area came with a bundled play, hung a sign, and threw it at the entrance of the scenic area. Throwing the littering bear child into the trash can. Maintaining social stability is everyone's responsibility. Until a 2-meter strong man patted Lin Chen's shoulder and took a photo to ask Lin Chen for directions. Armored kid, have you seen my son? These 2 slaps have a lot of strength. Lin Chen looked at the photo. Isn't this Lu Luo? Is this Lu Luo's father in front of me? A big shot over level 20. Lin Chen suddenly realized that he had caused great trouble. Lin Chen pretended to be calm and said, I've seen it before. Are you still following 2 ancient swordsmen? The strong man said, yes, that's right. Where did they go? Lin Chen pointed in the opposite direction of his home and said, they're heading that way. The strong man patted Lin Chen's shoulder again and said, okay. The young man has good strength, and I have a crush on you. My name is Lu Meng, and I am the leader of the Lu family's gang. I will report to the old Lu nightclub tonight. I must come, you know. Why can't he get through on the phone? Lin Chen said in a military salute, okay, big brother, see you tonight. When the strong man left, Lin Chen quickly found an empty intersection, took out 1,000 universal coins from his bracelet, and placed them on the dungeon card. The universal coin melted and transformed into pure energy, which was sucked into the dungeon card. A door to space opened and appeared in front of Lin Chen. Lin Chen stepped in and entered the dungeon. Before entering the dungeon, Lin Chen left a message for his mother and father, saying that he had gone on a trip and would be back before the college entrance examination. My parents are not combat professionals, so we cannot let them meet Lu Chang. Hiding is impossible, only by entering the dungeon. Enhancing one's own strength is the key to resolving this crisis. Detected host entering dungeon. Anti-Japanese legend, the system is assigning a cheat. Please choose from the following 3 cheats. 1. Infinite gold. You have endless gold, silver, and copper coins in the game, and can freely consume them. 2. Recruitment of subordinates. You can spend money to recruit various powerful subordinates. 3. Equipment upgrade. You can transform your weapons and equipment by consuming money. Lin Chen hesitated when faced with the 3 options provided by the system. First, exclude the first one. When entering the dungeon, one's physical fitness and equipment will not be brought in. Similarly, if one dies in a dungeon, the original will not die, but will exit the dungeon. After careful examination, Lin Chen found that his physical fitness was only at the level of LV5, equivalent to the level of a Special Forces soldier in his previous life. Very strong, but not strong enough. Infinite money may seem satisfying, but in this era of material scarcity, there are not many things that can be bought. It is impossible to hoard a large amount of goods because productivity is too low. Wanting to buy a massive number of firearms is even more of a dream. Moreover, money can summon subordinates, but it cannot buy loyalty, so the first one cannot be chosen. Only the second and third ones are left. I have just experienced the unlimited upgrade equipment, which is very big and enjoyable, especially the Gaussian sniper rifle. It is simply incomprehensible. It can easily penetrate dozens of walls with one shot, sniping in the city without any blind spots. Even if your opponent is hiding inside the Pentagon, this bullet can penetrate the entire building and snipe them. The antimatter bullet at the back is a super powerful weapon, capable of killing one regiment with just one shot, making it both fun and enjoyable. However, I just chose it and it doesn't have any novelty, so I decided to choose the second one. Summon my little brother, sweep the world. After choosing the cheat, Lin Chen's consciousness sank and he entered the dungeon world. Open your eyes and sit in a cart walking on the path. The path is very dilapidated, it is a bumpy dirt road. On both sides of the road are patches of wheat fields. There is a strong man one by one, harvesting wheat in the land. Xinhua village has arrived, you can get off here. Old man, I still have to go to the process to sell cows. Okay, Grandpa, thank you. Lin Chen's friendly response. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Guarding the life of my sister. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Guarding the life of my sister after entering the village panel pop.up, dungeon world. Anti-Japanese legend, dungeon type. Single player, dungeon difficulty. D. Copy content. Gunfight fighting strategy, background of the dungeon. The imperial family of the Moonlight Clan was incompetent and ruled by backward and impoverished land. They were annihilated by ambitious individuals among the Moonlight Clan. Taking advantage of the weakness of the Moonlight Clan, the Daylight Clan launched a massive attack, causing the Moonlight Clan, which had lost its royal family, to be divided and unable to resist. More than half of the territory had already fallen. Xinhua Village. A town where the Moonlight Tribe has a population of over 1,000. In this era of war and chaos, people's lives are relatively happy. However, the army of the Sunshine Tribe has occupied Xinhua County, and the safety of the villagers and girls in Xinhua Village is threatened. The same applies to the crops in the ground. Your distant cousin Lin Chen lives in Xinhua Village. It is a good place to settle down, complete a series of tasks, drive away the Sunlight Clan 1000 team in Xinhua County, and you can pass the dungeon without any time limit. After death, you will immediately leave the dungeon. Start your dungeon journey. After clicking OK, the interface disappears. Lin Chen is visiting Xinhua Village for the first time. It's just an ordinary village. There are various vendors in the center of the village. Mainly selling vegetables, eggs, and iron. After asking for directions, Lin Chen quickly found his cousin's house. In a courtyard of several tens of square meters, there is an old locust tree surrounded by bundles of wheat, forming a small pile. Previously, harvesting wheat was done by cutting it off from the roots, tying it into bundles, and bringing it home. Lin Chen shouted in the yard, "Is anyone there?" A middle-aged man with a limp walked out of the yard, looked at Lin Chen, and asked, "Are you?" Lin Chen danced Kuan dance and replied, "I am Ikuan. Just Ikuan." The middle-aged man gave Lin Chen a crazy look and turned his head before leaving. Lin Chen quickly changed his tone and said, "Uncle Lin Days, I am your nephew Lin Chen." The middle-aged man turned around and stared closely at Lin Chen. "Lin Chen. What is your father's name?" "My dad's name is Lin Dehai." Lin Days quickly took Lin Chen into the room and said, "Don't blame uncle. It's been almost 20 years since we last met, so it's normal not to recognize him." "Uncle, it's okay," Lin Chen warmly greeted and roughly surveyed the room. Simply put, it means simple poverty. Where has cousin Lin Chen gone? In the game prompt, the given prompt is to seek refuge with Lin Chen. Ah, Lin Day's sighed, your sister was taken notice of by the landlord's nephew in the village yesterday. She came over this morning to try to rob someone, but fortunately, I was prepared in advance and evaded her. Normally, being able to marry the landlord's family is also a good thing, but the landlord's nephew, Chang Wei, is a violent maniac. He has already killed 4 wives, and I will definitely not hand over Chinner to him. Chinner's brother, Lin Debao, is foolish. I don't trust him to take Chinner away either. I'm just worried, so you're here. Just right, you can go back after dinner. Take Chinner with you and let Chinner stay at Big Brother's house in Xi'an. Now Chinner is in the cellar. Let's go and pick her up. After speaking, Lin Days and Lin Chen moved the firewood against the wall and opened the entrance to the cellar. Following the cellar, a petite girl was embroidering flowers. Sensing someone coming downstairs, the girl glanced at Lin Chen and he felt his heart melt. The cute and silly appearance brought Lin Chen 100,000 sweet critical hits. Almost, Saito Fanio was about to blurt out the 4 words. No, it's a bit different from Saito Fanio. Lin Chen's chest is noticeably more bulging. Lin Chen said, it looks good, it looks really good. Lin Days. Why do you suddenly feel like it's not safe to hand it over to you? Seeing someone come down. Lin Chen suddenly hid behind Lin Days and looked at Lin Chen. Just now, Lin Chen's lion-like gaze at a lamb was indeed somewhat frightening. Lin Chen looked at the hand that Lin Chen had extended and also extended it. Lin Chen took the opportunity to pinch it, it was very soft. Lin Chen looked at Lin Days and asked, where's Big Brother? There's no salt at home, I'll have your big brother sell some wheat and buy some salt back. Speaking of wheat, Lin Days clearly blamed himself a lot. If it weren't for my poor legs and feet, Chinner wouldn't have helped me collect the wheat, nor would she have been seen by the landlord's nephew and blamed me. After listening to Lin Days' story, a window popped up in front of Lin Chen. Trigger branch task. Maintain village harmony. Task difficulty. 2 stars, task location. The landlord's courtyard at the east end of the village. Task description. The landlord's nephew is a famous bully in the village. Please eliminate them and maintain the peace of the village. However, please be careful of retaliation from the landlord. Let my sister come out first, let's have dinner together. Don't worry, I'm here, this kind of domestic violence man must die. Lin Days. Lin Chen is very confident in his own strength, after all, he has a special forces level physical fitness. However, the name Chang Wei sounds very impressive, and he definitely has a younger brother. If he goes straight to fight, the risk is still quite high. There is only one chance to enter the dungeon, so it is still necessary to be more cautious. Lin Chen's mind moved and opened the menu of cheats. Subordinate summoned cheats level 1 recruitment. 10 copper coins per recruitment, 2nd level recruitment. 100 copper coins per round, 3rd level recruitment. 1000 copper coins per round, level 4 recruitment. 10,000 copper coins per recruitment, level 7 recruitment. 10 million copper coins per recruitment. There are no copper coins. The top priority is to make money as soon as possible. If Lin Chen's family doesn't have money, then he can only go to work. Copper coins are the basic universal currency of the 3 major races in the world, with decent purchasing power. 1 copper coin can buy 3 eggs, 1 pound of wheat, and half a pound of rice. 1 silver coin equals 1,000 copper coins, and 1 gold coin equals 100 silver coins. 10 copper coins can summon a little brother, and it can be said that the price is quite cheap. You should know that in the small village of the Moonlight tribe, 10 copper coins can buy 1 pound of pork. However, Lin Chen currently has no money in his hands. I can only wait for my silly brother to come back. Lin Bao didn't make Lin Chen wait too long. Lin Chen had just climbed out of the cellar when he saw Lin Bao pushing a unicycle into the yard. On the unicycle, there is also a piece of meat and 2 bundles of vegetables. Lin Days saw the meat on the cart and felt heartbroken. Bao, why are you spending money recklessly? That money is for you to buy salt. Salt, there's salt here, there's salt. Bao took out a bag of salt from the cart and said, pointing to the 2 hanging coins around his neck. Dad, here's the money for you. This is the money for selling wheat. Bao pushed 100 pounds of wheat to exchange for money to buy salt, but there were 2 hanging coins hanging around his neck, pushing the meat back. Even the slowest person could sense something was wrong. Have you met Chang Wei, the man who looks very fierce and came to our house this morning? Bao picked up the meat and said, he said to eat meat and give it to his sister. She hasn't eaten meat for a long time, let's eat meat. Upon hearing this sentence, Lin Days understood that Lin Chen's position was probably already exposed. Chang Wei is highly likely to come over tonight to grab someone. 101, a piece of meat, my daughter who has been raised for 18 years will be taken away. Lin Days only felt despair. Although Lin Chen, the eldest nephew, said he would protect his younger sister well, he was only one person after all. How could he oppose the more than 10 servants of the landlord's family? The only way is to give the money to Lin Chen and let him leave the village with Chinner and Bao. Thinking of this, Lin Days looked at Lin Chen and found him standing on Lin Bao's side, having already taken down the money. After receiving the money, Lin Chen urged the cheat. 1 hanging copper coin is 101, subordinate summon cheats, level 1 recruitment. 10 copper coins per recruitment, 2nd level recruitment. 100 copper coins per round, 3rd level recruitment. 1,000 copper coins per round, level 4 recruitment. 10,000 copper coins per recruitment, level 7 recruitment. 10 million copper coins per recruitment. Lin Chen spent all 200 copper coins and conducted 21st level recruitment. Immediately, 20 men wearing shirts and holding headscarves walked into the yard. The men were carrying an earthen gun on their shoulders and small barrels of gunpowder and bullets pinned to their waists. Consume 200 copper coins, successfully recruit 20 followers and hunters. Hunter, physical fitness. Normal, defense equipment. None, weapons. Old-style earthen gun, meat cutter, combat experience. Excellent, skilled at setting traps. Lin Days looked at the 20 hunters with guns entering from the door and opened his mouth wide. These are all. Lin Chen nodded and said, Uncle, these are all my subordinates. I'll give those 2 hanging coins to them. Don't worry, no one can bully us. Let's go in and cook, stew all the meat, and reward my warriors. Lin Chen is stewing meat in the house, while Lin Chen and 20 hunters are playing with the soil in the yard. At night, Chang Wei quietly approached Lin Chen's home with his 2 younger brothers. Little brother, big brother, don't we bring a few more people? I don't feel secure. What if Lin Days' neighbor comes out to help and gets beaten? Chang Wei slapped him in the face. Getting beaten up. In this village, except for the young master of the landlord's family, who dares to provoke me? A cripple, a fool, can't you 2 still fight? Go in later. If there is no one on the other side, you will be responsible for beating the cripple in A, and you will be responsible for beating the fool in B. Boss, you beat up the girl. Chang Wei kicked Jia's buttocks and said, I'll beat you up first. We're almost at Lin Chen's courtyard. Chang Wei rubbed his hands in anticipation, but Lin Chen didn't plan to take it home. Instead, he planned to do it for her in front of Lin Days in Lin Chen's bedroom. So I didn't bring any more kids. It's always bad to be surrounded by people for this kind of thing, but it also requires someone to hold down Lin Days and Lin Bao, which is why I brought my 2 younger brothers. In the painful crying between father and daughter, when I think about it, Chang Wei becomes much harder. My fist hardened. Little old man, how dare you lie to me this morning? Tonight, I must give you a hard lesson. There is also a reason not to take Lin Chen home. Being supported by more than 10 younger brothers is also because Chang Wei values loyalty and shares wealth with everyone. Previously, 4 of them couldn't bear more than 10 little brothers and committed suicide. At the moment of seeing Chinner, Chang Wei swore to protect her for a lifetime. She won't receive any harm. So, this time, Chang Wei planned to hide his beauty in a golden house. This girl wouldn't let other kids know, so he specifically chose 2 strict-tongued ones. Chinner, brother is here. Chang Wei pushed open the courtyard door and immediately knelt on the ground. Big brother, please speak up. Without him, being pointed at by 20 guns would make anyone kneel. The 3 people kneeling, Jia's pants are wet, and Chang Wei's pants are also wet. Lin Chen raised his hand slightly, and 9 hunters went over to give them 3 an artistic bundle with their legs apart. Due to being pointed at by a gun, the 3 of them dared not struggle at all. Chang Wei remained calm in his heart. If the other party did not immediately shoot, it meant that he could negotiate terms and was afraid of the landlord behind him. Although he didn't know why the Lin Chen family had so many guns, he should be fine and at most pay some ransom. Lin Chen found that the hunter's binding was quite artistic, but he always felt that something was missing in some places. His mouth, a ball was missing. By the way, use a mud ball to block my mouth. I don't want to hear anyone scold me for a while. Received. After receiving guidance from Lin Chen, several hunters found a corner to pee, then rubbed it into a mud ball and blocked the mouths of 3 people begging for mercy. Then one person tore a piece of cloth off their body and wrapped it around their mouth. After seeing 3 people tied up, Lin Chen took the lead and stomped hard between his legs. The 3 of them were about to burst out of their eyes, but unfortunately their mouths were all covered in dirt and entangled in the cloth. They could only make a whimpering sound and could only wriggle on the ground. And this is just the beginning. Because 20 hunters and Lin Days stepped on each other after the Bao had enough fun, Lin Chen arranged for someone to take out a few pieces of burning firewood from the pot where the meat had just been stewed and poke them up. The bodies of several people seemed to be electrocuted, standing straight. Grass and wood ash can stop bleeding. I am truly a knowledgeable and considerate person. Seeing 3 people being knocked unconscious, Lin Chen first poured boiling water on their heads before performing the hemostasis operation. Afterwards, Lin Chen untied Chang Wei. The first thing Chang Wei said after spitting out the soil was, "Big brother, Dad. I know I was wrong, please let me go." Lin Chen nodded and said, "Okay, no problem. A ransom of 10 silver coins per person. Who of you will go back and take it?" The price of 10 silver coins is not expensive, which is only the annual output value of 5 or 6 farmers farming. As a bully in the village, if you don't even have a few silver coins, that's impossible. Chang Wei shouted, "Money, I have money, in my shoes, both my left and right feet. Let me go back, only I know where the money is hidden at home, let me go back." The hunter took off the shoes of the standing committee member and poured out 2 silver coins from inside. A and B searched their bodies and found 30 copper coins. After arranging for someone to wash it, Lin Chen reluctantly held it in his hand. I originally planned to detain the hostages for ransom. After all, there are quite a few young brothers in Chang Wei's yard. Who knows if there are any local guns? My more than 20 young brothers want to enter the robbery, and the risk is too high. But with these 3 silver coins and 30 copper coins, Lin Chen's confidence has been enhanced. This money means 330 hunters, enough to hang the landlord's family. Unbind the 3 of them and let them go. 3 people helped each other and just walked to the door with a limp. Lin Chen waved his hand. 20 people are automatically divided into 3 groups. One group goes back to fill ammunition after firing, while the other group continues firing. Soon, the 3 of them remained motionless. From Lin Dais's mouth, it was learned that Chang Wei was the landlord's vicious dog, specifically helping the landlord bully non-paying servants. Over the years, at least a dozen people have died in their hands. Perhaps among them, there are also some who hold good intentions and have not taken action. Lin Chen was too lazy to distinguish, so he mistakenly killed someone. If you don't join a bad organization, you won't accidentally kill someone. The next step is to attack the bully's lair and eliminate them all. Before that, conduct a round of recruitment. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Sweeping the underworld and eliminating evil, guarding goodness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Sweeping the underworld and eliminating evil, guarding goodness. Now I have a total of 3,030 copper coins, 1 silver coin equals 1,000 copper coins, in my hand, which can summon a large number of troops. I first spent 1 silver coin and conducted 10 rounds of secondary recruitment. A person wearing a gray military uniform entered the courtyard and gave Lin Chen a military salute. He wore a simple military uniform and wore 2 holsters around his waist, containing 2 Mauser pistols. Consumed 1,000 copper coins and successfully recruited 10 subordinates. Divine Drama Soldiers. Divine Drama Soldier, physical fitness. Normal, defense equipment. None, weapon. Mauser pistol, combat experience. Normal, passive intelligence reduction halo. Within the halo, the enemy's intelligence, vision, hearing, and reaction speed of Divine Drama Soldiers are reduced by 90%, 90%, and 90% respectively. The halo has a range of 5 meters and can be stacked in a radius. Lin Chen was stunned. Although the physical attributes of Divine Drama Soldiers are no different from those of hunters, and their combat experience is even lower than that of hunters. But this halo effect is really amazing. Not to mention anything else, just saying that the reaction rate has decreased by 90% is already quite outrageous. This means that a Divine Drama Soldier and a small enemy team meet, and the Divine Drama Soldier has already fired 7 or 8 shots, but not a single shot can be fired from the opposite side. In a complex terrain environment, a few Divine Drama Soldiers can eliminate dozens or even hundreds of Nico clan soldiers without damage. Cow, indeed cow. These 100 copper coins can be said to be quite valuable. Lin Chen immediately spent all his silver coins and recruited 20 Divine Drama Soldiers. The aura range was stacked together, with a radius of 150 meters. It's already late today. Lin Chen asked 10 Divine Drama Soldiers to stand guard and arranged for the other 3 subordinates to sleep in a nearby yard. The neighbors around were all very enthusiastic as they looked at the bright muzzle of the gun, and even brought out their own cherished delicacies. The next day after breakfast, Lin Chen walked towards the village bully's house with 25 Divine Drama Soldiers and 23 hunters. The village bully's house is very large, with a 3-in and 3-out courtyard. There are more than 10 thugs living in the outermost courtyard, some of whom even have local guns. The defense force can be said to be quite strong. Unfortunately, under the influence of the descending intelligence aura, Lin Chen's Divine Drama Soldiers only realized that someone had invaded after putting their gun on the head of the thug. Moreover, Lin Chen lied to them and said he wanted to drive them out of the village, so they really believed it. Some people are also quite arrogant, saying that their brother is a landlord and has dozens of subordinates, asking Lin Chen to quickly get out. Lin Chen was also not hesitant, allowing him to experience the set meal that his son had enjoyed. The remaining people who believe that Lin Chen will let them leave the village at the moment they leave. Lin Chen waved his hand. Bang 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 bang. Gunshots rang out. A dozen thugs and Chang Wei's family couldn't even say, "You lied to me," and were beaten into a sieve. Not executed on the spot in the yard. That yard is nice, it's a pity to let my subordinates rest and dirty the house. Just finished executing. Lin Chen received a prompt to complete the task. You have completed the branch mission to eliminate the village bullies, gain 1,000 experience, 1000 universal coins. It is truly a D.level dungeon, and there are rewards for completing side quests. The E.level dungeon in the exam must be completely cleared in order to gain experience and universal coins. However, this D.level dungeon only completes one side quest, and the reward is even higher than the clearance reward of that E.level dungeon. Trigger a combo mission to eliminate the landlord. Task difficulty: 3 stars, task location: Chanja courtyard in the center of the village. Task description: the landlord is the real villain in this village. His land source is not clean, and he was seized with weapons 20 years ago. People have long harbored resentment towards him. After thoroughly raiding the bully's house, Lin Chen obtained 13,000 copper coins, not much, but there were 80,000 kilograms of wheat in the backyard, and his food problem was completely solved. Overall, he felt pretty good. Open the cheat and select recruit. 13,000 copper coins disappeared, and 130 divine drama soldiers marched into the courtyard. With the addition of the original 30 divine drama soldiers, Lin Chen's divine drama soldiers now have a total of 160, and the range of the descending intelligence aura has also reached a full 800 meters. A sense of security explodes. However, Lin Chen is still somewhat concerned about the landlord's secret retaliation. After all, even if intelligence is reduced by 90%, it is still possible to come up with strategies for surprise attacks and assassinations. So Lin Chen decided to immediately destroy the landlord's family and not give them a chance to lose. With over 100 divine drama soldiers, Lin Chen marched towards the landlord's courtyard and arranged for 60 divine drama soldiers to guard near the village. The world is not peaceful, so one should be prepared for danger. At this time, inside the landlord's courtyard, the landlord and several subordinates are in a meeting. The landlord, who looked 50 or 60 years old and was very old, looked at his 4 subordinates and asked, "We have a fierce character in our village who has a gun and has already killed my nephew. What should we do?" The bald leader said, "I heard that the army of the Sunlight Tribe has already occupied Xinhua County. Do you think this group of people can be the Sunlight Tribe?" The dwarf leader nodded and said, "It is very likely that the Sunlight Tribe will not slaughter all the enemies in the occupied area. They also need people to farm, work, and manage the people who work. I believe that as long as we obediently submit to the Sunlight Tribe and pay our supplies on time, we should be able to become the peripheral leaders of the Sunlight Tribe and continue to rule this village." Fatty Commander: "Yes, so we must not take action against the Sunshine Clan. If we provoke the other party and attract a large army of the Sunshine Clan, none of us will survive. Putting down our weapons is the only way to survive." The words of the fat leader were unanimously recognized by the other leaders. After negotiation, the landlord decided to go out without weapons to welcome them and express his friendly sincerity. Arriving at the door and looking at the army of over 100 people, the landlord became even more determined in his decision, calling him Dad and surrendering. The landlord raised his hands and shouted loudly to Lin Chen, we surrender, please let me join you." Lin Chen saw from a long distance that there was no weapon on the other side and was still puzzled. Originally, it was decided to surrender. Lin Chen shouted back loudly, "If you want to surrender, you can do Kun dance." The landlord was puzzled and asked, "What is Kun dance?" Lin Chen waved his hand and said, "You don't even know how to dance Kunwu, do you still want to join us?" Dream. Bang 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 bang. Under the command of Lin Chen, more than 100 people, shooting with 2 guns in unison. Dense bullets are no less than machine guns. 6 seconds later. The landlord and his group have all laid down and remained motionless. Enter the landlord's house and gather everyone in the yard at the entrance. The people inside trembled as they looked at the corpses on the ground. After inquiring with the villagers, the landlord's entire family was executed by firing squad. Lin Chen still hasn't received the prompt to complete the task. After another round of questioning, a servant who had not been seen by the servants was found and executed. Lin Chen finally received the prompt to complete the task. You have completed the side mission. Eliminate the landlord, and now you are the owner of the village. Gain 3,000 experience and 3,000 universal coins. Another large sum of money has been received. Lin Chen is very pleased. At the entrance of the courtyard, there were still many landlords' concubines who had been snatched home by the landlords. Lin Chen inquired about the opinions of the victim girl, and those who were willing to stay were sent home. Those who are unwilling to stay will also be sent home. After all, I represent justice. For some unknown reason, all the girls agreed to stay. Lin Chen also made a great decision before deciding to send them back. Turn your back and can't bear to look at the girls' watery big eyes. Now it's far from invincible, and it's not time to enjoy it. Big brother, big brother. Don't try to persuade me, I won't accept these beautiful and lovely girls. If you insist on persuading. Big brother, our sentry has seen the Sunshine Clan patrol team. The Sunshine Clan, have they stabilized the situation in the county town and started sweeping the village? Lin Chen ordered, you take 50 people over, 10 people in groups, attack freely, and completely annihilate the enemy. Received. Lin Chen is not worried about his soldiers. In groups of 10, the range of the mentally disabled aura is approximately 50 meters, which happens to be the maximum effective shooting range of a handgun. Under the suppression of the aura of intellectual disability, no matter how many enemies there are, they can only drink hatred in place. It's just that Lin Chen regretted killing too quickly and forgot to ask the landlord where he hid the money. Dozens of hunters searched back and forth, only to find 2 gold coins, 13 silver coins, and 3,000 copper coins. To convert it into 216,000 copper coins. Slightly lacking, there is quite a lot of wheat in the granary, totaling over 300 tons. If these grains are taken away by the Nico tribe, the consequences will be unimaginable. The villages near Xinhua County also need to be guarded. These 216,000 copper coins, if recruiting divine drama soldiers, can recruit 2,160 people. There are 1,000 more members of the Nico tribe army than in Xinhua County. The quality of individual soldiers can be overwhelming, and the number of soldiers can also be overwhelming. Lin Chen can be said to be stable. Just as I was thinking, another side task popped up. Trigger branch task. Guardian Village, task difficulty. 3.5 stars, task description. The Sunshine Clan has dispatched 10 small teams of 10 people to collect intelligence from nearby villages. Please quickly eliminate them and safeguard the peace of Xinhua Village and other villages. Here we are, task. Lin Chen has arranged it briefly. Returning to the landlord's courtyard, I saw that the landlord's concubines, innocent people who were robbed, had not left yet. Why don't you just lie on the rocking chair and let the girls sing a song for yourself? It has to be said that girls singing mountain songs have a unique flavor. It sounds much better than what little ghosts, rappers, and eternal gods sing. Thinking, Lin Chen opened the cheat. Subordinate summoned cheats level 1 recruitment. 10 copper coins per recruitment, second level recruitment. 100 copper coins per round, third level recruitment. 1,000 copper coins per round, level 4 recruitment. 10,000 copper coins per recruitment, level 7 recruitment. 10 million copper coins per recruitment. I first spent 1,000 copper coins and conducted a third level recruitment. A soldier wearing camouflage military uniform and carrying a tactical backpack walked out of the backyard. Consumed 1,000 copper coins and successfully recruited subordinate. Wolfang Special Forces, physical fitness. Excellent, protective gear. Bulletproof vest, bulletproof helmet, weapons. Type 95 assault rifle, Type 92 pistol, 84 reconnaissance dagger, offensive grenade, defensive grenade, smoke grenade, flash grenade, combat experience. Top-notch, passive adaptive equipment. When summoned in groups of 10 people, weapons will be adaptively optimized. After multiple summonings, Lin Chen had understood the mechanism of cheating. The character he summoned would appear out of nowhere and then rush to join him, so he let the girls go to the backyard. However, seeing this passivity, Lin Chen had some doubts. So, he immediately consumed 10,000 copper coins and summoned 10 Wolf Fang's special forces at once. Among the 10 people, 5 are holding assault rifles, 2 are holding sniper rifles, and 1 is holding Barrett anti-equipment sniper rifle. 1 person has first aid items in their backpack, and 1 person is carrying a wireless signal relay. Seeing the wireless signal relay, Lin Chen finally noticed that the special forces were wearing wireless earphones on their ears, which usually have a communication distance of 3,000 meters. To achieve long-distance communication, temporary base stations need to be installed. Strong, it's really too strong. Now we can finally command the troops remotely. Lin Chen still has 205,000 copper coins and spent another 100,000 copper coins to summon 10 Wolf Tooth special forces. Now, the number of special forces has reached 111. Lin Chen pointed at 5 special operations teams with his hand and said, 50 of you, in small groups and with the soldiers of the divine drama, turn around and eliminate all the enemy forces around Xinhua County. The rest, guard the courtyard and protect me. Received. There are still 105,000 copper coins left, and Lin Chen began to try level 4 recruitment. Confirm summoning. A 2-meter-tall muscular man appeared in front of Lin Chen. The giant's limbs are equipped with auxiliary exoskeletons, and its chest is loaded with heavy armor. In terms of weapons, Gatling on the left and RPG on the right. Behind it is a huge ammunition box, carrying a massive amount of bullets and 20 rockets. Spend 10,000 copper coins and successfully summon your subordinate. Fire cover, firepower cover, physical fitness. Top-notch, defense and protective gear. Bulletproof plug board, weapon. Gatling M314 Reaper, RPG.28, 125mm, combat experience. Top-notch, energy source. Cold fusion battery, strong, really strong. This firepower is comparable to a meat and blood harvester. Can be used as a remote turret. Unfortunately, it is not suitable for mobile warfare. Only when the enemy charges towards our army can the firepower coverage be maximized. Fortunately, 1 Gatling bullet can penetrate 7 or 8 people. But the army of the Sunlight Tribe is not foolish either, they won't say they are foolish and have been mowed. After some thought, with the remaining 95,000 copper coins, Lin Chen recruited 8 firepower bearers and 150 divine drama soldiers. Adding the previous 160 divine drama soldiers, the total number reached 310. When they gather together, the range of the dimming aura can reach 1550 meters, enough to cover the entire local battlefield. After a busy day, Lin Chen was also exhausted, so he called a girl over to help him boil water, take a shower, change clothes, and take care of himself to sleep. I slept until the next morning. You have been noticed by the Sunlight Clan 1000-people team in Xinhua County. The Sunshine Clan 1000-people team has already formulated an encirclement plan against you. Task location. Xinhua Village, task content. Resist the full attack from the Sunshine Clan 1000 team, defend for more than 3 days, and it is considered successful. Looking at the pop-up prompt on the panel, Lin Chen smiled slightly. My arrangements from yesterday have already taken effect. Lin Chen did not want to go to war in Xinhua City because it had not been occupied long ago and there were still many civilians inside. It would be bad if it were accidentally injured. Lin Chen dispatched 5 teams to eliminate all the troops from the Sunlight Kingdom leaving the city. On the one hand, he wanted to provoke the enemy, and on the other hand, he also showed weakness to the enemy, making them think that he only dared to harass. And in the morning, Lin Chen arranged for all the divine drama soldiers to stand under the wall near the enemy headquarters. Disrupt the judgment of the enemy headquarters. I just hope to lure the enemy to attack me. Mainly, there are some things that cannot be directly stated. What is the Sunlight Clan? I think everyone has already guessed it. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Level 4 Recruitment, Transformers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Level 4 Recruitment, Transformers. The execution power of the Nico tribe's army is quite good. In the afternoon, one after another personnel carriers and armored vehicles drove out from the city gate. Each troop transport vehicle has 20 soldiers on it. These are all the elite of the Sunlight tribe, equipped with mortars, howitzers, and machine guns as standard. Under normal circumstances, a team of thousands of Nico clan members can easily eliminate thousands of hunter-level militia. The sergeant sitting at the front of the car, leaning on a military knife, had a fierce expression on his face. This time, make sure to swat all the annoying flies to death. The next second, Colonel's entire head exploded like a watermelon. Barrett is an anti-material sniper rifle, used to snipe commanders, but it is a waste of talent. 9 firepower bearers stood up and fired in unison, killing 9 personnel carriers. Subsequently, the 9 Death Gods' Gatling began to roar wildly, and many soldiers were beaten to pieces before they knew what had happened. The soldiers who had time to get off the car had not yet started aiming when they were sieved by a massive amount of assault rifle bullets. They were originally excellent soldiers, equipped with the best equipment of their time, and after strict training, their 38 rifles could shoot enemies 500 meters away. Unfortunately, in the face of absolute firepower, there is no room for a fight. It only took 3 minutes. Thousands of soldiers have already been wiped out. Afterwards, Lin Chen dispatched divine drama soldiers and special forces to the city, capturing and imprisoning all the Nico clan troops inside the city. If the army of Sunlight Kingdom dies, Lin Chen will withdraw from the dungeon because he has completed the main mission. So, these people must live well, eat and drink well. Just mix the leftover food from your own army, stir it, and put it in a bucket for them to eat. Being able to eat the same food as one's own army is also considered a blessing for the Sunbeam soldiers. Soon, the task prompt sounded. You have eliminated the main force of Xinhua County. Please continue to attack and eliminate the remaining troops. Xinhua County has been occupied by you, and your reputation will spread throughout the Third War Zone. You can establish a number. Lin Chen began to ponder seriously. Establishing a serial number. It's really difficult. Since this county is called Xinhua County, let's call our troops the Sakura Army. The Sakura Army has been established. Trigger side quests. Fear the Wind, task difficulty. 4 stars, task description. Make the unit's designation a fear for the enemy and make them tremble at the news. Task time. Unlimited, make the enemy afraid. Lin Chen's mind twitched and he said, I have an idea. Before that, summon a wave of troops first. In the previous battle, Lin Chen's troops were unscathed. Thanks to the aura of intellectual disability, this is an invincible guarantee. Lin Chen is still very happy to have achieved such success. Quickly, the troops searching for Xinhua County came in with 2 boxes. Lin Chen quickly approached and opened the box, which contained a dense collection of coins, including gold, silver, and copper. This kind of currency is 2 big boxes. After sorting, it was converted into copper coins, totaling as much as 130,5000. These 2 boxes of money bring Lin Chen a full sense of security. With these 2 boxes of money, I have confidence in what I need to do next. Lin Chen muttered to himself. The soldier carrying the box asked, Boss, what are we going to do next? Lin Chen stared at Qian and casually replied, Of course it's a good fight. Drive the Sun Clan out of the Moon Clan's territory. In this way, it should also be the plan with the highest reward. The combat power of our own soldiers is quite terrifying, and gathering them together to eliminate the invading forces of the Sun Clan is a very inefficient behavior. So, Lin Chen began building special forces teams, each consisting of 2 assault special forces teams, 2 firepower bearers, and 100 divine drama soldiers. Divine drama soldiers are responsible for providing a halo of intelligence, while assault teams and firepower bearers are responsible for providing dense firepower. A team of 100 people like this just needs 50,000 copper coins. After spending 1 million copper coins, Lin Chen recruited 20. After arranging the task, 20 cherry blossom special operations teams left in different directions. Lin Chen now lacks a strong sense of security. Because the Sunlight Army not only has infantry, but also planes and tanks. Next, I will turn the entire theater of war upside down. What if the Sunlight Clan discovers their location and sends planes over directly to drop bombs? Lin Chen only had infantry and was suppressed by aerial firepower to death. It would be great if there were an air raid shelter, but unfortunately, airplanes are still a novelty for Xinhua County and Baihua Province. It is impossible to have ready-made air raid shelters. Do it yourself and have plenty of food and clothing. Another 5,000 copper coins were spent to recruit 500 hunters, and then they were arranged to drive the arsenal of Xinhua County to the foot of Xinhua Mountain, where 3 shifts dug air raid shelters. After arranging everything, Lin Chen had nothing to do again. Looking at the remaining 300,000 copper coins, Lin Chen opened the cheat and spent 100,000 copper coins to conduct a level 5 recruitment. A J.20 fighter jet plunged rapidly towards the ground, and as it was about to hit the ground, the engine nozzle rotated downwards, causing strong airflow to disrupt Lin Chen's hairstyle. Subsequently, the fighter jet began to deform, emitting a cool and clicking sound. Quickly, a mechanical giant over 10 meters tall appeared in front of Lin Chen. Consumed 100,000 copper coins and successfully recruited his subordinate. Cyber Warrior, Cyber Warriors, Energy Source. Spark, Defense. Cybertron Metal Shell, Weapons. Plasma Cannon, Cyber Missile, Shock Cannon, Cyber Machine Gun, Hot Melt Sword, Combat Experience. Excellent, absurd, it's really outrageous. The crazy soldiers of Cybertron, entering this era of rifles and artillery, are simply a dimension reduction strike. Lin Chen doubted whether the firepower of the Sunlight Tribe could break through the defenses of the Cybertron warriors. Using this to eliminate the small soldiers of the Sunlight Clan is truly a waste of talent. So, Lin Chen recruited 2 more Cybertron soldiers and asked them to help the hunters dig defense holes, so that he could quickly move in. At the same time, Lin Chen's 20 cherry blossom teams have basically taken their positions and embarked on their journey of not being human. Taohua County 2 Sunshine Clan captains with 7 or 8 soldiers are competing in a 100-man slaying competition. It's already noon, and both knives have rolled their blades. Now they need to cut many times to kill someone. At this moment, the 2 of them were chasing a family of 4, surrounded by soldiers ahead, leaving a few people with no way to escape. In the rapid running, the hostess was powerless to fall. Seeing the butcher's knife raised, the male host turned around and blocked the female host, closing his eyes. The expected pain did not come, instead the sound of enemy ghosts crying and howling sounded. 3 seconds later, the continuous roar of firearms finally reached the male owner's ears, and the man quietly opened his eyes. The Sunlight Clan team in front of us has not a single arm intact. Some cracked from their shoulders, some cracked from their elbows, and the flowing blood stained the ground red. The male host continued to flee with his family. Similar situations occur in many places. On the road, a team of 100 members of the Sunlight Tribe is gathering to sweep the designated area. The commander wiped the military knife over and over again and said, "Today, I will use this knife to pierce through the bodies of 10 enemies." Just wiped the knife clean, the commander's palm exploded and 5 fingers flew around. Barrett's roar rang out, and the legs of the Sunlight Tribe soldiers broke off from their knees. The armor of the personnel carrier has no defensive ability in front of Barrett bullets. There are countless soldiers to hide from, and they can only stand still as targets, watching their comrades' thighs explode one by one. Portable mortars also cannot play any role. Each mortar barrel is penetrated by Barrett. There were also daylight squads charging towards Lin Chen's sniper position with sniper firepower. But when they saw the sniper position, they were waiting for several assault rifles and Gatling machine guns. Roaring, crying, and despair enveloped the soldiers of the Sunlight Tribe outside the core of Baihua City, Mutant County. At the east gate of the county, General Kimura of the Nikko tribe is reviewing his troops. 10,000 people were neatly arranged, magnificent and imposing. Suddenly, a small soldier from the Sunlight Tribe ran in panic. General Kimura was displeased and said, "As a soldier of the Nikko tribe, I have said that at any time, I should be at peace. Even if my life is in danger, I cannot panic." "Yes, General." The soldier stood up straight and saluted. General Kimura nodded and asked, "Tell me, what do you want to report?" Remembering what he was about to say, the soldier's legs began to tremble again. "Dead, all dead. The 1,000-man teams in 14 counties are all dead. The enemy's weapons and firepower are so powerful that our people can't even fight." General Kimura frowned and said, "You and I know how weak the Moonlight Clan is. If you lose, don't give yourself excuses for failure. Instead, you should muster the courage to kill back. As soldiers of the Sunlight Clan, you should have the courage of the sun. As long as you have the courage, no matter how strong the enemy is, we are not afraid. Now, take my knife and go to the streets, chop down people, and bring back your courage." The soldier lowered his head and said, "General, I'm not looking for a reason for my failure. I was sent by Captain Asano to ask you to run away quickly." "Ha ha ha." General Kimura couldn't help but laugh. "We have tanks, airplanes, and a whole team of 10,000 soldiers, equivalent to 4 regiments, here. Even the commander of the Moonlight Clan has written letters to prepare to surrender. Would I be afraid of an army that only dares to bully the 1,000 soldiers? If they dare to come, I will eliminate them all here." As soon as the words fell, countless rockets fell from the sky. The lucky Sunlight soldiers were torn apart by the shockwave, while the unlucky Sunlight soldiers were shot into their bodies by countless bullets, emitting blood all over their bodies. There are 800 steel balls inside the RPG, and the explosion has a killing range of 20 meters. In addition, General Kimura is currently undergoing military training, and the personnel occupation is very dense. In this round of rocket fire, thousands of people were killed. Mutant County is the final battle of Baihua City, and 20 Cherry Blossom Special Operations teams have merged into one place. Each squad consists of 2 assault units, 2 firepower bearers, and 100 Divine Drama soldiers, with a total of 122 people. 20 teams joined together, and Lin Chen's troops in Mutant County had a total of 2,440 people, covering the entire battlefield with a halo of mental retardation. Despite having a larger number of soldiers and a large number of machine guns, the Sunlight Tribe was still suppressed without any counterattack. General Kimura was furious and said, "Damn it. You lied and attacked me, an old man." General Kimura was growing old and strong, climbing into the tank 3 times and then turning his gun to take aim. Accompanied by the roar of the cannons, a shell shot out rapidly and hit a standing firepower cover. The armor that can withstand bullets did not block this shell, and the entire person and exoskeleton armor were torn apart. "Die for me." General Kimura turned the muzzle to aim and fired another shot. Bang! Accompanied by the sound of explosions, another firepower-covered person died. The general is indeed a general, who has broken through the suppression of the halo of intellectual disability. The other 9 tanks, although fired a few shots, all their shells were deflected towards Grandpa's house and did not pose any threat to Lin Chen's army. After discovering the crisis, 20 Barrett snipers simultaneously aimed at General Kimura's tank and fired 5 shots in a row. Bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. The metal armor of the first-generation tank was simply unable to withstand Barrett's bullets, resulting in holes being punched out one by one. General Kimura inside the tank was unable to dodge and was hit by 100 bullets with meat sauce. I don't know who shouted, "General is dead." The surviving troops stood out from behind the cover one by one and charged, as if wanting to avenge the general. Unfortunately, under strong firepower, there is no difference between charging and dying. The charging soldiers were like chopped chives, falling in rows. The entire army was quickly annihilated. Lin Chen, who was far away in Xinhua village, sighed after learning about the frontline battle situation through radio. "General Mai, he is a ruthless person. Also, the halo of intellectual disability is really useful." In the past few days of digging a defense hole, there have been constant prompts appearing in front of Lin Chen. You have triggered a mission to rescue Meihua County. You have triggered a mission to save Haitang County. You have set out on a mission to save Lily Flower Village. You have completed the task to rescue the sister from Lily Flower Village. Rewards: 500 experience, 500 universal coins. You have completed the task and killed the Sun Clan guerrilla team. Rewards: 1000 experience, 1000 universal coins. You have completed the task and destroyed the 10,000 people team of the Sunlight Clan. Reward: 10,000 experience, 10,000 universal coins. You have completed the side mission. Fear the wind, your team has gained a prestigious reputation. The soldiers of the Sunlight Clan will turn pale upon hearing this. Reward: 20,000 experience, 20,000 universal coins. Lin Chen nodded, not bad. When the Cherry Blossom team launched a massive attack, they did not forget to promote their names, and the vast majority of attacks intentionally released many soldiers with broken hands and feet. Hurt but not kill. These soldiers who returned alive rarely have a normal mental state. The experience of his teammates being beaten to pieces in front of him, with flesh and blood smeared on their faces like sauce, has brought serious psychological shadows and a sense of war weariness to these soldiers. The deserters returning to the main force are like seeds of a mental plague, spreading thoughts of despair, weariness of war, and escape. The commander-in-chief of the Sunlight Clan has noticed you. You have triggered the mission, the ultimate survival test. Task description: the commander-in-chief of the Sunlight Clan has already fallen short of your spiritual offensive. In order to regain morale and unify the Moonlight Clan, within a week, the entire clan's troops will be mobilized to eliminate you with a thunderous force. Please survive the enemy's attack. Task location: Mutant County. End of this chapter.